The Falls Count Everywhere podcast would like to mention our friends at the following. For the most intriguing wrestling stories and info on independent shows in multiple regions, nobody does it like We Talk Wrestling. Subscribe to Facebook's #1 interactive community for professional wrestling today. Pro wrestling on Tuesdays are a blast with the Wrestle Talk podcast. Join the entire crew every Tuesday at 7 p.m. as they bring their takes on the major circuits, showcase interviews with various indie stars, and news on the #1 fantasy wrestling promotion, the FWWC. Visit them at facebook.com/WrestleTalkPodcast and at WrestleTalkCast on YouTube and X.
All of us here show appreciation and love to our first responders, military, and volunteers that help our nation as well as protect and serve us every day. Thank you for all you do.
Get ready for episode number 186 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast as we welcome the bubbly, confident, determined in-ring competitor and the youngest ever AIWF Women's Champion, the unstoppable Spark, Ava Brooks.
Welcome to the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. The show starts in
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go!
Welcome to the show. Buckle up tight. Rough cut Rick Ruby in the spotlight. Jam City Mountains breaking it down. Best wrestlers podcast in this town. Blood and sweat in every word. Echoes of the ring, haven't you heard? Wrestling tales, raw and true. Podcast alive, bringing it to you.
Hey, what's going on, guys? And we are back here with our last Sunday in March, and we're going to kick it up as always.
I don't have my flashing lights anymore. It feels weird.
You don't have them anymore?
I broke my Halo the other day.
Oh, no.
So I have to get a new Halo, but it'll be there. It'll be eventually.
Oh, my goodness. Well, hey, but the great news is that we have actually fixed our Facebook stream this past week, and now we are streaming live on Facebook this week. So, yay!
Yay! Facebook, you're back.
We got the sparkly unicorns to finally agree with us that yes, we need to connect our account. So yes, thank you very much, Facebook. We do greatly appreciate that. Wait, look at this already.
What?
Look at this.
I don't even have
How
time.
did-
I'm
how
trying to
did you
share- I'm
break
trying to
it?
share the show.
Oh, are you talking about your light? You broke the light?
Yeah. I tripped over it. That's how I broke it. I'm klutz. I was crawling behind my desk and I tripped over it
dude.
and it fell. And I can't,
Yeah.
do some redneck engineering right now to fix it.
Don't I know about that? But your problem is that you be tripping. You need to stop tripping. That's what you need to do. Stop with that.
No,
So,
send me money for a new Halo. That's what you guys should do.
oh yeah,
I'm
Yeah,
joking.
I got
I'll go get
big halo above me. So, no man, no. But we welcome everybody here once again. Tonight is episode number 186 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Of course, I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby here on the left. To the right, as always, the Gem City Mouse and Miz.
Hey.
We're here to bring you some great live entertainment all across the world of wrestling tonight, and of course, here in about maybe 10 minutes or so, we're going to be having our featured guests, which is going to
I'm
be
excited.
Oh yeah.
We already
Our
in the chat.
newly, I guess we're going to say newly crowned because it happened not that long ago with our AIWF Women's Champion, Ava Brooks. That's going to be joining us. And we've got a lot to talk about. I mean, there's a lot that's gone down in the realm of wrestling this past week. And of course, and I'm telling you now, if you guys say that there's no build up to the big show in Las Vegas or the whole big week in Las Vegas, y'all are blind or you're not listening or you just don't, you're turning the other way. You don't care to look the way it's coming. So that's all I'm going to say. There's just a lot happening
It's
and y'all need to pay
great-
attention. So
it's
I'm
such
just-
a slow burn too. They're just giving us like little trinkets and treasures and
Once again, the way it should be done, though. You can't give everything in 1 week. I mean, you're not
Oh, no.
AEW for Christ's sake.
oh
You
come
got
on, be nice. They're doing just fine.
you got like I said, slow burn. Only give like little tips of things to do. It's but no, we've got a lot to discuss, man. It's we got quite a bit. I want to make sure I still got my notes up here, and as we get as we get to that here, we're actually going to move on to kind of talking about what we've got going on this coming week. And so we're actually gonna do things a little different here. As you see, our little our colored scrolling ticker is up above us here now. Just kind of giving you over the show results from this past week from WWE and TNA. Oh, in NXT.
Oh, yeah, the ticker's cool.
Yeah, I like it. Gives a little bit, probably gives a little more color, and of course, for those who want to leave their comments, we can still see your comments. So yeah, we got a full screen of fun and activities. All right, kids, get out your markers.
Much room for activities.
Shoot.
There's gonna be so many activities happening at FanFest 3,
Yeah.
May 16th and 17th, SICW. I am super pumped for this. So pumped.
Yeah. So let's kind of break down here, because guess what I did this week? I got a picture.
You finally got it.
Yeah, look at this. So look at this. So Mac Davis and Teddy Long, which, oh my God.
What?
Teddy, dude, if you missed it this week on Road Trip After Hours, Mac Davis goes live on his page with Teddy Long every Thursday night, 7 Eastern. You guys missed it because Teddy's question of the week that won the listener a t-shirt. What do you like in a woman? That was the question that won.
What do you like in a woman?
Do you want to know?
No, I don't know.
Big booty. That's his first 2 words out of his mouth from Teddy Long,
Oh,
general manager. Holla holla, big booty.
Teddy. Gotta love Teddy.
Oh my God, he's killing me. So, yeah, so a lot here. Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Harvey Whippleman, Missy Hyatt, Rock and Roll Express, Buff Bagwell, Greg Valentine, who's going into the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame this year. Kevin Von Erich, that's a big one.
Yeah, that one's pumped.
Nikita Koloff is another big one here that hasn't been yet. And of course, Dan B7 will be here. Of course, he's actually going to be having a weekend in St. Louis area. So he's got some things to do after this Fan Fest as well. So he's got a big one. Gangrel, a big one, man.
Pumped. Sabu.
Yeah, Sabu, of course. And of course, we mentioned Shane Douglas. We were talking about Shane Douglas earlier with our future guest, because out of the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, which, and then of course, Bill Apter, that's what May 16th is mainly there for, is Bill Apter hosting a Q&A with some of our legends here. So yeah, man. And I think I have to check the, see if Herb Simmons' Facebook page is actually made an announcement. I don't know. Is Bill Alfonso on here? Because I know
Bill's on the show. He's right.
Oh
there.
yeah, he's down there in the corner. I can't.
Right below Sabu, right where he belongs.
Oh, right where he belongs. Stay there. I mean, you can hear him. Blowing the whistle about a couple miles away.
Dude, did you see on Cauliflower Alley Club what just got announced for this coming year?
Yes. So they're actually having a roast for Mick Foley on the Monday at the CAC. So that is pretty cool.
Herb, tell your friends at the CAC, we need to make sure that is streamed somehow for people to watch. If it be like Patreon or something, like that has to be something streamed live, because that is amazing.
Yeah, you guys have got camera and video. You've got audio and video equipment now at the CAC. You guys need to get that online somehow.
I'm just telling you this, okay? I got to 2022, I think it was, or 2021. up in Keokuk, Iowa, they had a small like gathering where Mick Foley came in and did his stand-up routine.
Yeah.
Bro, getting to sit there and listen to that and getting my photo with him and talked with him. Him and I talked for a good hour after the show. So shout out Corey of Man Country.
Yeah.
But those guys, dude, that was an awesome show. To see him get roasted is gonna be hilarious because Mick Foley is a gem when it comes to comedy and how he approaches like getting made fun of. So I can't wait to see the stuff that pops up without that.
Oh my gosh. And a good returner and a good return, good return guest. Now, may I note that the weekend before this happens, WWE Backlash is in town. So, and then, I don't know if Randy's going to hang around after that and maybe hang out with Bob for the next weekend. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what's in store, but the Viper needs to be there. So
That'd be cool.
we're going to talk more about how the whole country of Europe is making every U.S. wrestling fan look looking so poor and diminished right now. I mean, not even that, but even to Australia. I mean, we're taking this way for granted. I think the United States wrestling fan and Canadian wrestling fan are taking professional wrestling way too taking it for granted. You know what I mean? Because these guys over this European tour are just lighting it up.
See, that's
So-
what I like about professional wrestling when it comes to that kind of sense when you're thinking of the different areas and the zones. Because, like, go to Japan and watch Japanese wrestling, they just sit there.
Oh yeah, and then
They
they'll
applaud after the show, after the match and stuff. So, like, the different levels of how fans interact is really kind of a cool aspect. And FanFest, you're going to get the front row access to these experiences where you get to mark out with your favorite professional wrestlers of yesterday and some of today. You know, Warhorse is even there. So, like, it's
Yeah.
really good. Plus all
Yeah.
the SICW crew.
Yeah. You always, like, so you want to go to sicw.org for all your ticket information as far as what's available left. Like I said, the right now I think the vendor tables are completely full at this time unless someone drops. So I don't know if there's a wait list. I don't know what else is to get in. You know what I care about? Us being there, and we are there. So everybody else, you're there, cool. We'll say hi. Those who can't make it, sorry about your damn luck. You know,
That's
you shouldn't have slept on it.
You shouldn't have.
All right.
100%.
Yeah, no, shouldn't have slept. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. You know. But also before we get a little bit further into this here, I also have our upcoming appearances here in a couple weeks. For me, well, actually, no. Before let's talk about this. Last night, if for SICW, history made. Big Nasty takes the I-Night Shriners Championship off of the Big Texan last night.
He
bro.
told us though. He told us that it was going to happen. So, Big Nasty, I still owe you some money too, Big Nasty. It's coming your way, bro. Don't worry. I know
Was it a bet? Was it a bet?
I can't say, man. I just owe owe Glenn some money. Don't worry about it.
Or
Coming surprises.
You're going to get rumors started like that. So,
Well, it's
you
all right.
know, what do
I'll
we
be
owe
at
money for?
SICW. They could figure it out.
They
Glenn
could-
and I are good. That's my dude. Glenn's my dude.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm gonna have to, stop riding the coattails of guys that can't get it done, like that rookie Texan and
Yeah,
but
that rookie Texan boy.
yeah. Glenn, good job, buddy. Good job.
Yeah.
Pay you with that money.
Yeah. So real quick, so we got some comments coming in. Wyatt joining us is commenting here with us, AWOL, and of course our Dirty Heel Austin Cage giving us some hell at the beginning, including seeing Nick here.
See Nick. Hope you're
coming
healing
in,
up,
watching.
buddy. I
Yeah,
hope
hopefully,
you're healing up.
Yeah, see, Nick is we're doing well. We're just very busy, and like I said, Midwest Wrestling Collision is in 2 weeks with them too. So our appearances here this is for me on Friday, April 11th. This is for a fundraiser at the West Plains Middle School FEMA building. So, and I wish. Let me go. I got to get this brought up here. I got to get the bigger.
Which one you gotta get? Oh,
Yeah. You know me, apparently my Mac, my site's starting to go crap. But it's the court appointed special advocates for children. That's what the fundraiser is for. It's in West Plains, Missouri. You can go to acwtheshow.com to get your tickets in advance. Their front row tickets are $10, general admission $6. All proceeds will be going to the CASA in there. And that's a Friday night show, so which means that's going to be a haul for me during the day to get down there
yeah.
and then to get back. So I may have to get like maybe a Pyroser trip to take a ride with. So
And then the next day, so
Yes,
unfortunately,
sir.
see, Nick, I won't be able to be there. But the next day is
passed over.
passed
Oh.
over. Yes, you messed me up. You go.
So you're passing over, passed over.
No,
Is
I
that
would
what you're
never.
saying?
Man, after the fall, I didn't get I wasn't able to be there at the last show, and the fallout was crazy. I gotta go and see what's going to happen at this show. 5 stars in action with an unknown competitor at this time. Chris Exodus is facing somebody. I can't remember now. You got me all flustered. I had everything lined up. I had everything set up, man. Like I was like ready for this, and I was gonna give you a rundown, and now you got me all flustered, and I forgot.
Oh man.
But yes, passed over. April 12th. We are back in Granite City. Pretty excited to be back in Granite City. I guess it is Granite City.
You said I guess.
No, man, I missed Highland. Like Highland's such a more up class area.
Okay, yeah, you're not pandering to them at all. So that's crazy. All right. We're going to go ahead and I think that's our last one here, ain't it? Yes. Yes, that is. That's our last show. So with that being said, we are ready for our feature guest of the evening, and just only I think, I don't know if not even 2 years into the business, but has made waves up in the Northeast, and it actually made their AIWF I think debut down at the number 33 in Mount Airy, and it shook up the women's division at a very young age. So
I got you,
Sorry,
C-Nick. I got you.
oh my gosh, yeah. So without further ado, let's bring on our feature guest of the evening. Please welcome the AIWF Women's Champion, Miss Ava Brooks. Ava, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
As you see, we're just acting like fools as always on a Sunday night, you know. But that's just kind of how we are. So you're up in the great state of Pennsylvania, I guess Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, if you had to do a I guess civic term by it. But how are things going up your way? Have you had any shows this past weekend?
I was just in Skull Hill, PA last night, and I defended my belt against Autumn Breeze
Oh, okay.
at ECWA.
At Autumn
So-
Breeze. That's an interesting
Sounds like
interesting
something you would
name.
call a candle, but
I was gonna say, isn't that like a car scent or something?
Time out. She obviously is a candle because you snuffed her out and you're still the champion. See?
Oh,
well, I mean, I technically didn't beat her, guys. Like I hit her in the face with my belt, but 6 or 9, half a 10. Either way, I still came home with my belt. She doesn't have it. I don't care.
I mean,
I like this lady.
what's not seen can't be proven. So,
Right. No, I'm with it.
and I know that enough in my time. So, man, Well, that's awesome. I mean, like I said, only a short time in the biz, and coming off, I mean, staying busy here. So it looks like in your short time, I mean, you've worked what, maybe like in 10 promotions, I believe, 10 or 11, something like that. I mean, that's quite.
Oh,
Uh,
a lot,
uh,
especially in 9 months. It's busy, 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 busy all the time.
yeah.
Plus, I'm in school too, and I go to school 2 days a week. So then, and then I have my training days, and everything's crazy.
No, that's the way to have it. Only go to school half a week and then train and do whatever else you want. You don't want to spend your
I
entire
picked
day.
I picked the most accelerated program at the college that I'm going to. And I'm like 1 year, and then I'm done. Like I can't do this.
Oh my gosh. So that's like one full year to get like your degree and like to get all the classes you need, right? Pretty much.
Yep, I'm going to be a medical assistant. So when most people are on like summer break for their college, I'll be doing my internship, which will get me my last couple credits to graduate in September.
Nice, nice.
And this
My-
is how people do it right these days, right?
My wife is still kicking it to be an RN, so we need all the health people.
Yeah. We get sick so easily. We need
Yeah, but
help.
you're going to be helping with like trainers and stuff, right? Medical assistant, correct?
It depends on like what office I go to. To be honest, I went to school only because I was told that I should have a backup.
Well,
Because like
no.
I 100% was just like I was just like I really don't want to, but then I started thinking about like because I did amateur wrestling before and I broke my hand and getting back into it just didn't feel right. So I never went back to it and then slowly got into professional wrestling. But I was slowly thinking about like what happens if like I actually do get injured and I can't wrestle anymore? What am I gonna do? So I was like, gotta go to school.
I mean, and
but
going for something.
I like my school, so
Yeah.
Going for something's needed too, so it's not a bad thing.
yeah, job security. Get your
You-
degrees, people. Get your degrees.
You'll also understand like how to help navigate the recovery process though. So having that knowledge
Mhm.
about your hand and etc. and being in the physical sport.
My teacher, she's always like, "Yep, Ava will beat you up and she'll fix you right up." So I'm like,
She's gonna have like two bags, like one for her gear, like one for like a whole first aid kit, like, just both on
like, oh my
wheels
god, I'm
rolling
so
in.
sorry. Let me fix that.
Should we become the little medic in backstage?
She's like, "You out of gauze? I got some."
What shape do you want? Circle or square?
I love it.
That's awesome. I kind of want to. So you broke your hand during amateur wrestling?
Yeah, I was training for freestyle in the summer, and
Yeah.
we were learning this move called the triangle. And whenever the kid did it to me, I came down and this bone snapped because I
Oh
went to catch my.
boy.
I feel you on breaking a finger. I don't know if you
Yeah,
can see that.
It's just, it was the hand that I wrote with too. And at that point, I was like in the middle of switching from my public school to online learning. So I still had to do all my state testing at my public school. I didn't want to see the people that were there anyway. My hand was broke. And I was like, so I'd have this teacher assistant helping me fill in the bubbles. And I was just like over it. I was like, I don't even want to be here. I just want to go home and lay in my bed.
I had to
Like,
learn
I
how to
was-
rewrite. Like I had to write like this. Yeah.
That's worse than drinking your tea with your pinky up. I mean, as far as dude,
Hand injuries are no joke, dude. The pain in a hand injury is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I remember feeling it snap, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I obviously immediately started crying because that's what I do. But then like after the initial pain went away, and all like the swelling came up, and it was holding it. I was like, "Oh yeah, I can totally finish practice." And my mom was like, "Sit your ass down. You're not doing anything else." So
She's a go
Wow.
getter.
Wow. Yeah, I know. I mean, I broke. Yeah, I think like when I was 12 or so, when I was doing, when I was in amateur wrestling there, and I decided to wrestle anyway on a carpet and not a mat, and well, I took a fall wrong too, but I fractured my wrist, and it then put me out of wrestling for about 4 weeks. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I was out for
parents
like
are parents are happy about that. So
I think I was out for like 4 months. And at that point, I had lost everything that I was doing because I've always been an athlete. So whenever I was switching from public to online, the gym I was at for amateur wrestling, I was doing their kickboxing, their MMA, their boxing classes. So I was constantly doing something, and I always had that as my outlet. So that was probably one of the first times I really struggled with mental health, is because I didn't have any of it, and I was just stuck at home. And yeah, I could go outside, but my hands all wrapped up. I remember I tried to mow the grass with my cast on. It was not working. And I
oh
was like, I don't think I can do this, guys. So yeah, it was definitely rough. But we started going to indie shows after that, and that's when I really started getting into wrestling. Like, it was on in my house whenever I was younger, but I wasn't really like, oh my god, WWE. No, I was I was a basketball kid growing up. That's what I thought I was gonna do with my life. Go to WNBA. That didn't happen. But I could not be happier with the way that I've gone about things, and the way that I came into professional wrestling, and the people that I've met, and the places that I've gone, the experiences I've had, opportunities. It's been crazy.
wow, wow. Wow. So that was almost gonna be late. So did you say you had aspirations in the WNBA basketball?
hmm Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna
According to
say,
my
I
Yeah.
mean,
according to
Evangel
our
Reese,
buddy Clint, there's only one basketball player for the WNBA, and that's Clayton
yeah,
Clark.
Caitlin Clark. Yeah,
Oh,
but I will say though, I mean, if Angel Reese made it, I mean, that's it's like if she can make it, it's like how they say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Well, you almost, in Angel's case, you almost miss 100% of the shots you do take, and then you still get endorsements. So so
uh,
I saw a reel
but
the
yeah,
other day where she's like on like a Reese's Puffs box or something. So he went
I think
around and
yeah.
grabbing Reese's Puff boxes with her on it, taking shots at the cart and always missing. It was funny.
Yeah, I
I
played
don't even know who we're
basketball
talking
for
about.
Angel,
don't know
look
who
up Angel
Angel Reese
Reese after, or ask Clint afterwards, bro. You're like, who's Angel Reese? You're like, bro, you don't
I don't,
know?
I don't know if that's who I want to ask.
Oh well, but you did mention though, because I'm kind of interested on who were actually the people who influenced you to start watching wrestling, and then when you did watch, who were your favorites to watch on that?
So the earliest I can remember watching wrestling, because it was never like I was like, oh, we have wrestling on the TV again. It wasn't like that. It
Yeah,
was just I never looked at it as that's what I wanted to do. I would watch it, and at that time it was Randy Orton, Sheamus, Rey Mysterio. Like, those were the big three. Me and my sister, our first ever action figure was the red Rey Mysterio. And then I'm pretty sure my brother still has that figure. I think one of the legs is broke off because it's been in our house a minute and whatever. But I'm pretty sure we still have it. But when we
okay.
started getting into the indie promotions, we went to Imagine, which is in Altoona, PA, and then IWC, which is out in Pittsburgh. In IWC, I saw Katie Arquette wrestle, and I do not remember who she was wrestling, but all I remember is I was so captivated by her herself and the way she moved, the way she interacted with the fans, everything, and I was just like, oh my god, I want to do this. And my mom was like, what? And I was like, this is what I want to do. And I was like, this is it. And she was like, I'm gonna have a stroke. And I was like, you'll be fine. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. So it was a couple months before I turned 15 at that point. Whenever I turned 15, we started asking around, like, where I could start training, and nobody would look at me until I was 16, at least.
Yeah, that's a lot of places.
At that point, my parents still had to sign a waiver and everything else. So I was a
Yep.
junior in high school when I started training. I was 16. It was a couple months after I turned 16. And I did pretty well at first with balancing training and wrestling and everything, school, whatever. And then as I got more involved with wrestling, the more I really didn't care about school anymore. Plus there was other stuff going on. But my senior year, I really did not think that I was going to graduate, and it was like halfway through the year and I was like, "Oh shit." Because my mom told me if I didn't graduate that I couldn't wrestle anymore, and I was like, "Oh my god." And I started panicking, so I started getting all my work in, and I passed my senior project, which I'm pretty sure is the only reason that I graduated. But it doesn't matter. We got through, and now I'm a student. So I'm just gonna say it's the school system, not me. But yeah, so all of that happened, and I was gonna take a gap year in between high school and starting college, but I procrastinate a lot, and I'm like, if I sit here for a year and I'm like, no school, I'm not going back. So there's no point in me waiting. So we started looking at colleges, and I actually enrolled in the college that I'm at like 2 weeks before orientation. So I was really pushing it. I took all
Wow.
their basic tests. I took all their
Wow.
basic tests to get into the program. I passed them all. They're like, okay, I got my enrollment letter. Usually everybody had it by now for orientation. I got it like a month later. We're halfway into first term. We only have 4 of them. And they're like, here's your certificate. And I'm like, thanks. I'm going to hang it on my wall. So that whole thing started. But yeah, it was crazy because I looked at my mom. I was like, yeah, actually, I think I'm going to go to school now. And she was like, what? And I was like, now. And she was like, okay, as long as you keep your grades up and whatever, we'll help you do whatever. And that's what I love so much is my parents are so supportive, and I honestly don't know what I would do without them. They travel with me to every single show that I go to. I say my dad's my security because, some fans are a little sketchy. Get away from me. But
You'll learn quick.
yeah.
I think she already has.
Very quick. Some of them I'm just like, stay over there. Okay, thanks. But yeah, so we do that. Plus my brother, he films all of my matches for me. My mom takes pictures of every single match that I'm in. A couple of the promotions I work at, she takes pictures of the whole show for the guys. She doesn't charge anything for those promotions because the promotions that she takes the pictures for have taken chances on me multiple times at the very early stages of my career and have helped me so much, especially Rise and Uniontown. Brandon Kay and now Glenn Spector are my trainers, and because that's not where I originally started. I was at a school closer to me because I was still in high school. So Rise is 2.5 hours one way from my house, so that's a really hefty drive whenever you're in school, and sometimes I struggle with it now. And it's only 2 days a week, but yeah, so it's a lot, but they've helped me so much. Kay has worked his ass off and really kicked my ass in gear to push me to be at the level that he knows that I can be, and I appreciate him for that. I appreciate all of my trainers, everybody in my little support bubble that I have is amazing. All my friends, my boyfriend and his family, all of them. It's just amazing.
Yeah. So, so you did mention though that so when you actually first got in when you first started training, there you started training at a facility like in Johnstown, but then you moved to the Stronghold Training Center.
Yeah.
So, what was the what what elements did you learn more from Stronghold than you did from your first facility? Like, what did they help you do to help you prepare more to do battle in whenever you first started wrestling?
So with my first training school, I learned all of my basics. I learned the like standard way you put together a match. I had my basic character work, but I was still really struggling with that. And like I had moves, but I didn't know where in the match to place them, and I had certain ideas, but I didn't know how to bring them out in the Ava Brooks character. And after a while, I actually got hurt right before I left my old training school, because I left 3 months before I debuted. And I was just parted ways very respectfully, and I was just like, I have to go for myself. And they were all whatever. I still talk to some of them. But so in that 3 months, I didn't have a training school, and I was technically not supposed to be in a ring, but I'm like, I'm supposed to face Katie Arquette for my debut match. Like, full circle moment for me. I'm not having this fucked up. Like, you're joking. So, I was still going to all of these shows on the weekends that my mom and dad were helping with, and I was helping with, help setting up the ring. And as soon as that ring was up, I was in there doing rolls, body control, because I've been an athlete my whole life, and I have grace, but I feel like I still struggled because I was a twirler, so it's like kind of like dancing, but it's like body control and twirling is a lot different than body control and wrestling. So there were still certain elements that I needed work on, especially my cardio. My cardio was ass during my debut. I was like, I'm gonna die. I started hyperventilating. I'm like, it's too hot in here. Like, somebody turn the fan on. Whatever. I was so bad. I went under the ring, got sick, came back out, finished my match, and then there was a guy, and we were all in the back. We were talking, whatever, and he was like, basically, he looked at me and said, get your fucking shit together and don't get back into a ring until your cardio is better. And at the time, I was like, damn, it's my 18th birthday. I just debuted. Like, that fucking hurt. But him saying that to me is what I needed. Because then I immediately went to Rise, and I was like, what do I do? And they were like, this, and this. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that times 20. And I've gotten so much better. My cardio is so much better. Thank God. Because I was so tired. Like, you're always going to be tired after a match, right? Because you're putting so much energy. You're messing with the crowd. You make your noises for selling. You do all of this stuff. You're doing the moves themselves. But you're going to probably be blown up too. But you have to be able to control that in the ring. And for a while, I couldn't control it. And I was I was like, I can't do this. I was like, why am I doing this? Somebody else could have my spot that could do this 20 times better than me. And then I was like, no, you've trained too long for this. Get your shit together, bitch. And I was like, okay. So then I did it. And I feel like I still struggle with it a little bit, but it's definitely not as bad as I was. And I am so much better with it now, being able to pace myself. So, yeah.
Oh my God.
It was a really big switch from school to school.
Well, I can't, and there's the difference. And people would realize that there are different types of cardio for different sports. Yeah, you can, if you get on an elliptical or Stairmaster or treadmill, whatever the case may be, you're pacing, maybe you do like a hill exercise and everything else. Yeah, you're kind of building yourself. But when you're in there, you're doing a lot more movements and you're doing more things with your body that, because people don't understand is that you have to be a well-rounded, trained athlete, not only just for doing something for cardio exercise in the gym, but you have to get in weights, and because it's going to take weight and breathing techniques to get through a match, and to carry yourself. And like I said, I kind of knew the game whenever I was first coming in. And I think like within my first year, I think there was like one night I worked like 3 matches because we were so short. Like, we got to have like at least 6 matches, and like, get the rookie in there. And it was like, well, we'll find a way, it's like,
like, I'm dying. Give me a second.
yeah, yeah. Like the last match I had was like a freaking title match, and it's like then I got squashed because I was so dang tired, or at least I was supposed to be, but I was
Yeah,
okay.
doing definitely the conditioning of 7 years of basketball to one practice of wrestling. Because I walked in there and I was like, I got this. Like, I'm gonna be good. I was halfway through the practice. I was like, I'm not good, guys. Like, this is not okay. Um, and yeah, I had a reality check real quick, and I was like, but it's what I love to do, and I am a perfectionist, and I sometimes hate the fact that you're never going to be perfect at wrestling because you're always learning. But I also love that about wrestling is there's so much to learn always. Like everything's constantly evolving, or you can go back and learn stuff from before and bring it to like it's mix and match, and I love that.
I mean, as long as
That's
you're not
actually
on a
one of my
weekly
favorite
episode,
things.
hey, as long as you're not on a weekly episode of Botchmania, I think you're good.
Listen, guys, if you ever see my face on Botchamania, I'm burning my boots in the ring. I'm gonna be like, we're gonna play. We're gonna play the clip. This is gonna be my retirement. We're gonna play the clip, and I'm like, I'm done. Have a good night.
I know somebody that was actually featured. Or no, there's like 2 or 3 that were around the area that were actually somehow the clip was found and Matthew put it on there. And I think one of them was Elroy trying to go through like trying to break like a 2x8, one of the planks underneath the ring. I'm like, bro, your skinny ass is not gonna break the shit. No, he bounced right off. But that was funny too. And another one was Jeremy Lightfoot. It was like a really old episode, but yeah.
It's so weird because like my social anxiety is so bad, but I wrestle, and I'm like, how does this even make any sense? But somehow it works for me.
Hey, you gotta think on that one because one of the great women's right now in professional wrestling has that same issue, and that is Rhea Ripley. She does not like being in front of the fans. Actually,
I'm like internally panicking always, but like I can get through it. It's weird. I've never had something like that happen to me. And then so like by the end of the night, I'm like, nobody touch me. Get away from me. Like I need a bubble. And my whole family's like, bitch, calm down. It's not that serious. And I'm like, don't touch me. Get away. But yeah. Social anxiety. So yeah, if I end up being on Botchamania, I'd literally be embarrassed and I'd probably hide in my room.
Well, we're all not perfect. That's for darn sure.
See, I like the whole. Ruby and I've had this conversation multiple times about quote unquote botches. When some of them we know are fumbles. Some of them, if you can recover it and you can make it look like it's part of the story or like it was meant to happen, that's almost the coolest art form in professional wrestling is covering up the mistakes without the fans knowing that it's a mistake.
Yeah.
Because that one's beautiful. Because what one was it? One of them just recently. I mean, look at Jay now, but one of them just recently they did, and I didn't even know it was until they're talking about it on a podcast. I'm like, no, that wasn't a mistake. They didn't mean it, but they're like, no, that wasn't supposed to happen. but I can't remember which one it was. But with your short amount of time that you've been in the business now, you've kind of flip-flopped back and forth between personas to where you're not so nice, and then you're this bubbly, joyful young lady.
Call it mood swings. Call it.
Give us a rundown on how that how you're going to take that into consideration. What kind of role you're playing to the fans that you're in that area, and which one of those roles do you kind of prefer?
So, I've only actually been heel fully one show, and I like it so much better than being a face. But I mean, I like being a face for the younger kids that come up to me during intermission because I love kids. I love dealing with that side of things. Whenever I'm happy, bubbly Ava Brooks, it's kind of how I was whenever I was a little kid. I was very goofy. I was very loud, bubbly, wanted to be friends with everybody. I was the kid in school that everybody was like, please shut the fuck up. Like, we don't want to hear you. Like, okay.
Wow.
That's just what it was.
At least you're nice about it.
We
said
give
please.
Austin Cage, the dirty heel Austin Cage, one of our co-hosts, who used to wrestle over in the Coliseum in Edwardsville. So former wrestler, had a bad car accident, can't wrestle anymore. But he's joined us a couple times and we talk wrestling stuff. This man drops F-bombs all the time. We count his F-bombs. I want you to know right now. You were like 5 away from being Austin Cage.
May I note that Austin Cage is going to get a swear jar at FanFest, and it's not going to be $1; it's going to be $5 every time he goofs up.
Just put the money in the jar. Go put it in.
Continue the conversation. Which one do you're the bubbly personality? It's you back in your kid. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so I was the kid. Nobody wanted to hear talk, and I would talk anyway because I just did not care. And I was like, you're going to listen. I think that's why I'm in wrestling, because it's like, oh, I don't care what you're doing. And I'm like, too bad, I'm going to do it anyway. So,
Fits the bill.
And that's kind of how whenever I flip the switch for heel, people are like, what? You are not a mean person. And I'm like, you don't know me. So, like, I can be a very nice person until you give me a reason not to be. And Ava Brooks as a heel is when you give me that reason not to be. Because I will completely tear you apart. Like, I just will not give any fucks. That's true.
I grab. Oh, no, girl. You're literally like 6 or 7 now.
I was like,
don't even try to play. I have a dad of 4 that point out every time I say the F word. Don't even try to play with me, child.
So yeah, but like, I completely just flip it on, and the attitude that I give the people that I'm wrestling whenever I'm a heel is the same way I interact with my brother at home, because like, he will push me to my limit, and he knows that he's there, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna beat you up. Matter of fact, let's go to the kitchen and square off right now, because I'm not playing.
Why the kitchen? Hold on.
Because I swear, our kitchen is like the biggest room in our house. There is so much room in there. And I'm like, the layout of this house is weird, but whatever. But yeah, I'm like, let's go. Or my mom will be like, if you two keep it up, I'm going to put you on the trampoline and I'm going to let you fight to the death. And I'm like, maybe not that far, but I will beat him up.
That's too much, Mom.
I don't want to die, but let's just... But yeah, so I definitely like being heel a lot more. Like I said, I was heel last night, and the video of my match is only 7 minutes long. I went through today and clipped and zoomed in on every single time I made a smart ass remark or made some sort of just like, Ava's being a bitch. Like, that's just what it is. And I feel like the vibe that Ava Brooks as a heel gives off is the popular girl in high school that like you were only friends with so that she didn't make fun of you. Like, you were just like, you wanted to be on her good side. And there were a couple of girls like that I went to school with, because right before I went to switch, I kind of went like introverted. Like, I was so extroverted for a long time, and everyone was just like, oh my God, Ava, shut up, that I was just like, okay, watch me not say anything. And then whenever I don't say anything, they're like, why are you so quiet? And I'm like, because y'all told me to shut the fuck up. Like, that's why. But that whole school just made me mad. But that's not here nor there. So I left, like one does, and then finished online. And then everyone was like, oh my God, they saw my wrestling stuff. Every single person that's ever bullied me in high school is a fan of me now. So I will just say, people that fucking shit on wrestling, and I'm like, yeah, but all of my high school bullies are now watching me, not the other way around. Like, I don't care what y'all are doing with your lives. No offense. Actually, take offense. I don't care. But I do not care. So,
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna tell you right now, if any promoter watches this right now and wants to hear my voice, a mean girl, sports athletic indie queen is right here in our makings. You have so much. Just I feel your charisma is what I'm trying to say. To put it into terms,
My
like
dad
I feel
told me I get it from him. He's like, "You're welcome," and I'm like, okay.
Dad might be full of.
I'm
No, I'm
like,
just kidding.
I'm like, thanks. I
No,
guess.
my oldest daughter, she's 100% bullied because of me. Like 110%. It's like it's total. Like she
And
is
that's the thing,
boss
like,
lady.
I don't really understand why people mess with me as much as they did, because like I like, even though I was loud, like I kept to myself. Like I really didn't try to bother with anybody, but it was always like they were trying to pull me in because they wanted a reaction. And after you push me so far, you're gonna get a reaction, and it's not gonna be a good one. So that was another reason that I switched, because I couldn't deal with the drama anymore, and I just wanted away from it. And I was just like, COVID hit, and I was like, "So Mom, can I stay home now?" And she was like, "I guess." And I was like, "Yes!" So then I just stayed home, and the rest was history. And then but I will say, I think a lot, like I've definitely gotten better. I think podcasts have helped me a lot with it, but speaking in front of new people or bigger groups of people, I struggled with for a really long time, because I was home. So I was like isolated in my house doing school, and I had my like wrestling outlet. So like I was still around people, but it was the same people. So then I got comfortable. So when I was around new people, I was just like, don't say anything. And I was just a robot, and I'm just like, just going with emotions. So that was something that I definitely had to work with, because even though I became very much introverted before I switched to online learning, it got so much worse. And I just like completely shut down. I didn't want to talk to anybody, and I really kind of just lost that inner child in me. Like I didn't know who I was, and I feel like wrestling has helped me find that again.
I mean, yeah, I watch wrestling and I just feel like I'm getting like IVs, like I'm at the hospital, like just getting pumped back up with energy. Talking
I don't
wrestling is the
like
same
needles.
way.
I don't
Yeah.
like needles. If I do it, I'll look away.
Like, yeah, wrestling is everything and anything to me. We talk about it all the time, and him and I play video games too together. And like any time we're playing video games, and anyone that plays video games can vouch for this, there's wrestling. Like there's a tablet sitting. I have my 86-inch TV that I'm playing video games on, and then my tablet sitting right here, and it's just professional wrestling injected. It doesn't matter if it's WWE. It doesn't matter if it's a local. I spent 4 hours a day watching RWA. Stuff,
Yeah,
all
dude.
because I'm watching you, and then I was watching Shadow Elijah and so many other people. I'm like, this guy's cool. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and I mentioned it earlier, and I'm going to mention it here too. By the way, your bio for us, hands out, stand up, deliver.
Yeah.
Like every promoter, every booker that you want is going to be in the palm of your hands, because you have that professional layout that you
I
sent
need to
us over.
update it, because I think my promotions are a little out of
Hey,
date.
I just want people to I just want to hear people. I want people to hear the praise, because you deserve it. Because I've only known you since the beginning of the 9 o'clock, basically. But I got to watch your experience in the ring. Watch you do some promos. Great stuff there. It was
Thank you.
awesome. RWA, by the way, that's a killer. I don't know anything about the promotion. Don't know a dime from it. Watched it just today. I was enjoying the stuff that I was starting to see there. So keep it up, go over there, guys.
RWA. They like, even the fans, like we'll have 3-year-old little girls, kids of all ages. They'll just flip off the wrestlers. Like their parents do not care. Like there's obviously no barricades. So sometimes fans will come up to the ring, and I'm like, okay, you got to like step back, because I will kick you, but like get back a little bit. I get that you're into it, but like I'm trying to do my job respectfully.
It's all because of that little girl on Collision. Doing that to Jericho.
It wasn't. It was a boy.
That's where it started.
It was a boy.
It was a
Everyone
little boy.
was like, "Oh my god, look at her go!" And I'm like, "God,
Everybody like that was
a
one of the
boy."
big. That was like one of the big hot topics on that whole thing was the fact that this little boy looked like a little girl, but he had abs the days, dude.
Yeah, for real. I was like, "Oh, okay, I see you."
Little dude was shredded and just talking. I'm telling you right now, if I ever met Chris Jericho, especially back when he was doing the list stuff, and that's one of the wrestlers that I would want to like just talk shit to me the whole time I'm meeting him.
Oh my god, I knew about Jericho and the whole list thing, but I didn't really start watching it until recently when there was a clip that came up on my Instagram and it was just like little snippets of it, and he was like, "You know what? So soccer mom's haircut. You just made the list," and I lost it in my room. And then
Go back and watch all that.
he went for James Ellsworth, and he was like, "You just I freaking marked out so bad." And then what was another thing I just marked out recently? For some reason, it was WrestleMania 31, I think. Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. When he went to curb stomp him and then Randy RKO'd him, I was in my room and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I've never seen that before. And I walked downstairs and I was like, "Mom." And she's like, "What?" And I showed her. She's like, "You just now have seen that?" But it keeps going up on all of our phones. So when it comes up, we're like, "Guys, look." I'm so funny.
Don't ever lose your fandom of wrestling, please.
I pop so easily too, so it's so funny.
That reversal and just out of nowhere, that was probably one of his best out of nowhere hits for Randy.
Oh, 100%.
He was when Seth like climbed up him, getting ready to do that, and then just boom. That was so quick. I was like, that was impressive for real. That was really good. I still say
you have to take Evan Bourne in his Out of the Shooting Star Press, because that's kind of the one that set the stage for all the rest to come. Like that was the one everybody's like, really? Because he was already doing RKOs out of nowhere to a point, but doing it out of the Shooting Star Press for the first time, we're all like, "Oh my god!" and then everything to come after that, bro. Randy's a goat. I don't care what anyone says.
I mean, we could talk all day on that, but I will say one thing: the one that started the whole topping, maneuvers out of nowhere coming off the top rope, is when Sean threw that freaking Sweet Chin Music when Shelton Benjamin came off the top.
That's such a beautiful moment.
Oh my god, that was
beautiful moment.
Oh my god, that was good. That was good. So I mean, obviously, us being big fans of women's wrestling, some of the women, is there any women in the wrestling business today that give you inspiration to help you with your motivation to stay hungry for success inside the ring? And what elements of your wrestling arsenal have improved from it?
So one of my finishers, I kind of have to switch it up sometimes, depending on if I'm heel or face. And I like having a variety because nothing like irks my brain more than when a wrestler has one finisher and they don't let it get buried either, which I'm not saying let your finisher get buried, but then every time this person hits this move, they're about to win. So I was like, I want to have different ones, and I want them to have like a ranking, which I'm still trying to like figure out. But my number one that I actually haven't hit yet in any of my matches is Oblivion, and I can do it two ways. I either do it like Liv does, where she goes through the middle and goes back, or I just run and I jump on the bottom rope and I just pull them back with me and make them take a face bump. So, and then from there, I can either pin them or I have a submission that I can go into. So there's kind of a variety there already, but I haven't been able to do it because the time hasn't been right. And then I just started doing, I forget what it's called. Eye of the Hurricane.
Eye of the Hurricane.
I think that's what it's called.
Oh.
But basically, you have them like
yeah.
least up to the thing, and then you come over and you do that. Because some people, they don't like trying to take Oblivion, and that's fine. But I also wanted to have different finishers for that reason, because there are some moves that wrestlers aren't comfortable either taking, or they know that they're not going to be able to make it look good. And if they're not going to be able to make it look good, if we can't make the match look good in general, I'm not going to hit it, because I'm not going to bury my own move. That's just not how I work. I'm not doing that. So there's that for finishers. When it comes to people that I look up to, Thea Hale and Tiffany Stratton are very young, and Thea came from my training school. So being able to see that, I'm like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. I just gotta
I
do
miss Thea on
it.
TV.
I miss Thea so much. I can't wait for her reemergence.
Yes. We need hashtag bring Thea back. It's been too damn long.
100%. 100%. We need Thea back.
And then with Tiffany, seeing her, I wasn't sure about Tiffany at the beginning, because it was just like, oh, she's another pretty girl, another gymnast, they can do all the flippy stuff. But like, as they moved her up to the main roster and seeing her evolve, like, this house is a Tiffany Stratton house. If you don't like her, there's the door. Get out.
Hell yeah, it's always Tiffy time.
Yeah, I love watching those two, and I love watching Liv and Rhea. Obviously, Liv is a big inspiration for me. Rhea, I connect with on that whole social anxiety thing, and Chelsea Green, I love watching as well, because Chelsea Green, she didn't grow up on wrestling like I did either. So I resonate with her on that a lot. So yeah, those are probably.
Okay. So now let's go to this, because you're young in your career, and you had a big triple threat match with two women within the TNA roster.
Yeah, well, those are two different matches, but yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the first one was, and they were like weeks between each other, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was very much having a like imposter syndrome moment. Like, I was like, no. But yeah, I was doing it. So the first one was at Big League Pro in Erie with Kalina Kane and Jody Threat. Love Jody. Love Kalina too. I worked with her like a month prior, I think, up at ESW Keystone. And so that whole match, I was low-key marking out over. The entire day I was so stressed, because I found out the day before while I was in school, and I was like, I literally had my phone and I was like, dropped it on the table, and my teacher's like, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing. And she was like, oh, okay. And I think at that moment, my teacher, because the people at my school, they know that I wrestle, and now they're even more invested in it. But at the beginning, they were kind of just like, you wrestle? Because I'm 5'3", 130 pounds, and they're like, you wrestle. And I'm like, I don't know if I should feel disrespected right now that you just said that to me, or what. But now they like, whenever I won my belt, they posted it all over our school's website. They're super supportive. So anyway, drop the phone. They're like, are you okay? And I'm like, uh-huh. So I go home and I'm telling my mom, whatever. We get to the show, and I'm watching all of her matches. So by the time she got there, I knew her whole moveset. So she's telling us like what we're gonna do, and I'm like, and then you're gonna German me? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So we did the whole match, whatever. Super fun. Was able to get some good, love her. Was able to get some great feedback from that. And then a couple weeks later, I was supposed to wrestle a girl that I know. Her name's Pegasa, up at NCW. She wasn't able to make it, unfortunately. And there was supposed to be a tag match in a steel cage with Zandra Lee and Masha versus JC Storm and Hollywood Haley J. JC's plane ended up getting delayed. She didn't end up making it on time. She got there, but the match was already over by the time she got there. Haley couldn't make it.
Oh,
So then they're like, "Hey, Ava," and I was like, "What's up?" They're like, "Have you ever been in a steel cage match?" And I was like, "Nope." And they're like, "Well, you're gonna be today," and I was like, "Great, okay." So obviously, I don't know if anything happened with Masha's plane or it was just like everything was changing so quickly, so she just got a little overwhelmed. So the first impression I had of her was her telling everybody to get the fuck away from her and give her space, and I was like, I literally walked to like the other side of the room, and I was like, oh. I was like, "Girl, have all of the air. You can have it all. I'll just stop breathing." Actually, so we ended up figuring out we had 2 different matches planned in case JC ended up making it on time, but she didn't. So we had the triple threat. I was so anxious. I had the most anxiety. Like, I was visibly shaking walking around this cage. I was like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like, there's already been so much going on, and I was just overwhelmed. And we did a chop spot, and the first chop that she gave me, I swear to you, the anxiety left my body. Like, I was crying after that. I like
You
she
are healed, sister.
like she factory reset or something. But yeah, that match was crazy. Everything was fine. We ended up actually, me and her did a spot where she was gonna kick me in the chest, and as she was kicking me, she realized that something position wise wasn't right. So I got towed right to the chest. And like I was having the hardest time to breathe afterwards, and we thought that I not fractured something, but we thought maybe a broken rib, maybe something. I guess it wasn't the chest. It was like over here. But so there was definitely a lump there. The next morning I woke up and it was still there, and I was like having really bad pain. And I just like took a deep breath and kind of was just like pushing and leaning. That's usually what I do when I have side pain. And I heard something pop. So I don't know if something like dislocated and then I put it back, but it did not feel great. But I mean, it's fine now. But in the moment, I was like, what did I just do to my body? I was like, and I got up and I got ready for school and I left. And that was that. I haven't really talked about it since then. But yeah, but she was so worried that she like really fucked me up. And I was like, no, girl, I'll be fine tomorrow. It's all right. We're good. I got checked by the doctor to make sure I didn't have a concussion or anything, because I was just like so out of breath that I was dizzy and I was starting not to like remember things. But like on the way home, everything was coming back and I was fine. But yeah, those 2 matches, crazy. I was like,
what are some of the big takeaways from those 2 matches in like things that you learned from the 2 ladies, how to be in the ring, maneuver in the ring, that kind of stuff?
a lot of some of the girls that I wrestled, they're like, this is gonna sound so bitchy. I don't even care. But they're like, be careful with how hard you hit me. Okay. I hit everybody the same. I don't pull my punches or anything. I'm not going to hurt you. It's probably going to suck in the moment, but here's the thing. If I hit you hard, hit me hard. If you potato me, oh fucking well, I'll get over it. Like, this is not dance class. We don't have tutus. We're not ballerinas. We don't have point shoes. We're not spinning around in circles. Like, the thing is like the women's wrestlers, like, they want to have the same respect that the guys do, right? But then they're like, be careful how hard you pull my hair. No, bitch, rip me to the fucking mat. I don't care. My hair is not gonna leave my head. I'll be okay. I fight with my brother now, and he'll go to like pull my hair, and I'm like, you realize that I wrestle, right? Like, this happens to me all the time. That doesn't affect me anymore. but that's my thing. If I hit you and I hit you hard and you want me to lighten up, I will. Either tell me that or hit me fucking harder and say, bitch, lighten the fuck up. And I will. But don't come to me and be like, treat me like a delicate flower, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
You've literally like cemented a new fan. Just so you know, like, Zamiz is fully 100% on Ava Brooks' side, like through and through. I can't wait to see you glow up, girl, because it's
Thank
gonna
you.
be amazing. Amazing.
Man, and speaking about growing up quick, I mean, you made, like I said, we're gonna go back. You recently made it was the debut at AIW at 33, right? You're going to
Yeah.
Mount Airy, North Carolina, and Clara Carter Clara Carter is really no pushover. Okay,
Mhm.
so and you got your opportunity for the AIWF Women's Championship,
I
and
have it. Thank you.
obviously, yeah. So you got that baby
Oh
there.
yeah, this is my
That's
baby.
actually, yeah,
Wow.
like, yeah. I love what the AIWF does with their titles. I love their world title, and like I said,
That's what this is. I was
uh,
like, I was overwhelmed when I figured out that it was actually the world title. I thought people were fucking with me, and because I thought it was just like, oh, I'll come back to North Carolina and I'll defend it, and that's what I'll do. And then they're like, no, you can defend this anywhere. It's our world title. And I went, huh?
yeah,
What do you,
yeah.
what do you mean? What do you mean? And they were like, yeah, we're putting our world title on you. And it was very overwhelming, but I'm glad that it happened because it's helped me a lot with the whole like sticking up for myself, because not only do I have to protect myself, but I have to protect this belt, and I'm not going to make the belt look stupid. I don't care if you make me look stupid, but you're not making the company look stupid, you're not making Matt look stupid, you're not making the belt itself look stupid. I'm not doing that.
Man, that is like one of the most mature statements I've seen that I've heard from a champion. Yeah, I mean,
Told
for
you.
real. I mean, I'm not blowing smoke anywhere. I mean,
Put the
for
seal,
real.
bro.
That
Put the seal of approval.
man,
Stamped.
Well, and it's like one of those things where, like, I was never someone that was like, oh, I need a belt. And no, I know. Whenever I first got this, I let it almost make me have a big head. And then I realized, like, how it was going to make me look if I continued what I was doing. And I was just like, bitch, no, don't do that. So I kind of went back to like my original roots where I was not looking for championship opportunities. It was like I was okay with going in for a shot, losing, putting the champ over, whatever, right? Because it was still getting my name out there. So whenever like this whole thing came about and I won it, I was like, promotions give a belt for two reasons. One is either to help bring a name to the belt. Two is to help elevate the younger star that the belt has. And I feel like in this instance, we're doing both, because Clara had this belt for 15 months, I think. And I don't
that
know
sounds
if
about right.
she
Yeah.
I don't know if she defended it more than once. So my goal with this belt is wherever I go, there's always the possibility that I could end up defending it. And it's not more so like, and I don't do that all the time, only because with only being 9 months in, I don't want people to think that I'm bringing the belt just so that I can get over in a match, because I really don't care if I win or lose. I don't. But if we have the belt involved, if I'm going to lose the match, I'm not going to have this involved, because at that point it devalues the belt and it devalues me as a champion. So if I don't have it and they don't even know that I am the champion, then at that point if I lose, it's just, oh, Ava Brooks lost, she sucks, whatever. Depending on if I'm heel or face. Maybe they'll feel bad for me. I don't know. Whatever. But so yeah, it's just been a whole thing. And like, I know at this point, whenever my time comes to give this belt to the next person, I hope they do the same thing that I'm doing with it now. Do I know when that is? No. I could lose it like 2 months from now and I'd be like, okay, here you go. But while I do have it, I'm going to bring as much light to it as possible. And I know people on my Instagram are probably so tired of seeing me holding the belt, taking pictures with it, kissing on it, whatever. But I'm like, you're going to see this belt everywhere. I'm going to, as soon as I get my passport, we're working on things in Canada, the UK. Like, we're trying to get this belt to become a world belt. And that's what I want to help it accomplish.
Nice. So I guess going back to that match, what do you? So two things. What do you remember most about that match you had with her, and then Second is where will this accomplishment rank to you personally 10 years from now?
Ooh.
So, okay. With Clara, the one thing that I like remember from the match, so it was super cold. And even though we were in North Carolina, it was very windy. We had to walk from locker room outside to Gorilla, and it was so cold. I was sick for a week after that show. I almost got sick during that match because I forgot to put gum in. So my mouth got so dry and I
Oh, I
couldn't
need gum.
breathe.
Yeah.
I could not breathe. And I always wrestle with gum in.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that. And whenever I started to struggle and I was like, oh, fuck. Like I realized that I didn't have gum in and I was slowly not being able to communicate with her. I was like, girl, I might get sick. We need to slow this down a little bit. And like our adjusting, I felt like we worked very well in the ring together for what we needed to do. And I could not have anything better to say about Clara. Like, I'm so glad that she was my debut match for AIWF, and I'm glad that she trusted me enough to take the belt off of her. And that is something that I will hold close to my heart forever. Now, with what this will mean to me 10 years from now, I think that this will always be at the very top of my list, only because it's my first belt. At the time I won it, I was only 8 months in. And I made history when I won it by being the youngest to ever win the women's world title. So there was a lot in that one moment for me. So looking to the future, I think, because even say 10 years from now, God willing, I make it on TV, right? It's where I started from that got me to that point. So yes, that'll be an amazing accomplishment if I can get to that point, which I really hope that I can. But without my history, without winning this, without all of the botches and matches, without the fans cheering, booing me, whatever, like Ava Brooks on TV doesn't exist. There's no possible way. Unless I become a college athlete and come through WWE that way. But that is that's not for everybody. Like that's like once in a lifetime. Oh my God.
Well, okay, time out here, young lady.
Okay.
Because this goes into my next question, actually. You're opening a whole segue with the way that women's wrestling is now being portrayed in not only the big scenes but in the indies. We're seeing a real heightened movement in the indie scenes where women are really getting showcased. Mr. Herb Simmons is here with somebody that I think potentially could be a great bout. By the way, Mr. Herb, seal of approval by Zamiz right here, Miss Ava Brooks. He's the promoter of SICW, and a giant woman by the name of Lilith Khan could probably take that title from you. No offense. Once again, seal of approval by Ava Brooks.
Don't piss me off.
No. I don't want that heat. I don't want that mean girl heat. But with all that being said, and how women wrestling is really seeing a big boom, and they're seeing this growth between how WWE is approaching new aspects of utilizing the indies with the LFG, the WWE ID program. Could you see yourself being a part of something like that? And would you be able to take away new aspects of looking at professional wrestling if you got an opportunity like that?
I feel like I'm open to any aspect of professional wrestling because obviously my goal is to get to the highest stage that I can. If that for some reason does not mean WWE, okay, that's fine, because I can't sit here and just think constantly, oh, I have to make it to WWE, oh, I have to make it to WWE, oh, I have to make it. So if I sit here and I think of the big picture like that, I'm going to make myself very overwhelmed very quickly, because going from an independent crowd to over 20,000 people is a big difference. And even just like the small things, like doing a promo in the ring, not even wrestling in front of that many people, but just talking in front of that many people, I'm kind of like, Mm. Mm. So, um, yeah, it's it's weird. It's weird to think about that being such a possibility.
Because that's a small step goal, actually. You're not 100% WWE, but you're not
Mhm.
100% not WWE. You're in that
Yeah.
limbo world.
I feel like Evolve and LFG are honestly, Evolve is definitely in the WWID program is something that I have been waiting for since I started wrestling, because for so long it was like, okay, like I'm going to be working these indie shows, but it's like switched from really indie wrestlers going to NXT to they were recruiting these college athletes, and I was like, and not even think about myself, but I was like, I have friends that I met before I started training that I saw like work their ass off all the time on the indies, and I'm like, are they going to get their shot because of these college kids? And not going to lie, I kind of had heat with these college kids for a little bit, because I was like, taking up spots, like this is shit that we grew up, most of them grew up, I didn't, but I eventually did.
You're
But
still growing up, sweetheart. Come
yeah,
on.
I'm only 18. Okay, I'm only 18. But I'm still a baby. But I just felt so bad for them, because I was like, are they going to get their moment to shine because of these college athletes? But I also believe that these college athletes have been putting in a hell of a lot of work to be good at what they are doing, especially once they get to NXT. And honestly, I'm proud of all of them. Like, I see that and I'm like, okay, you went from like cheerleading or basketball or football to doing this, and I know the conditioning is way different. I know everything about it's way different. So in a way, they're getting into this, like they're missing the indie part, but they're immediate. It's not like they're going in and they're literally just getting put on shows just because. Like, they're going in there and they have to do the training. They probably train way more than most of us on the indies do, because like I train once to twice a week. That's when I can get to my training school because it's so far away. But like, these kids are in that ring every single day for 3 hours or more, putting in the work. Even like, I know people were shitting on Logan Paul because of the shit that he did, but like, bro has a whole ass ring at his house that he trains in when he's not on shows or he can't get to the performance center. Like, these people are coming in and they're putting in the same work, and I know people probably aren't going to agree with that, and they're going to be like, but they didn't go through which I agree with to a certain point, but at the same time, like, it's not like they're not putting in any work at all. Like, they're doing the same exact thing, they just are training at the performance center. And just because they're there also does not mean that they're going to get put on NXT. I've seen multiple people, they like, especially on Cage Match, where I'll look up a girl and I'm like, oh, I don't know where she's from, and she trained from the performance center, but developmental just didn't have anything for her. And then they go and they were so like, seeing how kind of not isolated, but kind of isolated, because they were in the performance center, they didn't really have to deal with the fans, to then they go to the indies, and because they came from the performance center, all these fans are swarming them, and they're just like, and they get freaked out, and I'm like, it's okay, breathe, you'll be okay. If we have to, we'll get security, it'll be okay, no one's gonna touch you, it's fine. But yeah, so I could talk about that forever, so I'm gonna stop there. But yeah.
I would be cool with seeing you on that. I mean, the thought of Evolved, especially with the ID program and stuff and what's going on there, and seeing some of these guys that Kaylee Ray, perfect example. Okay. That's one of one of my favorites that was in the indie scenes and whatnot around the St. Louis area. To see her finally getting a moment to shine in there with Evolved, it's awesome to see that kind of stuff, and that gateway. That's a bigger gateway for people to get on and make more money in this industry that we all want to make money in.
And that's the thing, even if you go on Evolve or whatever, and say you don't get picked up by WWE, that's still opening so many doors for you. And I feel like, yes, WWE is the top federation in the world when it comes to wrestling. However, they're not the only federation when it comes to wrestling. Like you have AEW, you have even like GCW, you have all of these other like bigger indie promotions is what people call them. And I'm like, yeah, but sometimes I feel like those promotions, the fans are so much like they get really into it. And it's, to be honest, it's not that hard to get behind them if you know your basics. You could have somebody that's trained for, say, a good 3 months and you think they have the good thing. Put them on a GCW show, and as long as they know how to get over, sold. That's it. Because the biggest thing is like a lot of these fans, yeah, oh, cool move. Ooh, ah, whatever. But it's the character work that gets you over and what makes you be remembered. It's what you say, it's what you look at people.
Mic drop.
And
Mic.
like so and that's one of the things that I'm like learning now is because I was always like I always had the athleticism part. So I was like, oh, I want to do flippy dippy, whatever, right? But I'm like, some of these fans don't give a shit. Like they want you to talk shit to them. They want you to look at them funny. Like yesterday, before I ended up hitting Autumn with my bell, somebody started booing me, and I looked over at them and stuck my tongue out at them, and everybody started laughing. Like it's something simple as that. They were like, "Oh my God, Autumn, she has the belt," and I was like, "Shut up! You're gonna give it away." Like
Yes. Oh.
it's just small things like that.
Seal. Approval. I love it.
Oh man, yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. I watched her in we were talking about it in the green room before. Chris Classic. They did. I know you and I are not 100% for intergender. Like there still has to be reasoning, but these two make with 2 videos I watched. It was 2 videos,
And they weren't
They
super
had-
long either.
Yeah, they had me invested in like 5 minutes, both of them. Like I truly wanted to see more of you in Chris Classic because it was that
Fortunately, that's all she wrote. I don't know.
because it had this greatness, and I'm like, oh man, that was could have been fun. Like the fans were into it, dude. She has it. I'm just telling you, seal of approval.
Yeah.
Try.
So we've been scrolling up at the top here. So this where you can find Ava on social media. Of course, she's got her Instagram at official Ava Brooks. Of course, her TikTok at official_ Ava Brooks. Of course, Facebook at Ava Brooks, and then X at _ Ava Brooks _. So
I tried to tag you in my post because I started following you on X and I couldn't find it, and that's why I was _. Dang it.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Go and get your pen and paper out and start writing it down when it comes to
I'm
cross.
gonna need it. A list.
Already taken. And I was like, how's official Ava Brooks already taken when that's my name? Like, you're not me, so why are you taking my name?
I hate to find out where else Ava Brooks is known at. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. It's thank God Rick Ruby's not that common of a name. So.
I mean, some people say I stole mine, but my friends literally gave me the name because I'm a mark for the Miz.
Yeah.
I am the first mark for the Miz.
Yeah. I'm going to call an audible and keep the train rolling. Then we're going to do our fun thing after my last question here, and then we'll kind of see where we go here. But so like I say, you've accomplished a lot in your short time. Like you say, you're not even a year, you know, and here it is. I mean, you're wrestling triple threats with Jody Threat, a triple threat with Masha Slamovich, the current TNA Knockouts World Champion, and then now you've got an AIWF World Championship, which is recognized throughout the country in multiple promotions that is part of the AIWF, and of course, possibly in other parts of the world, you know, however far you want to take it. So, even with doing all that, do you have any other additional like long-term goals that you would like to cross off your bucket list, or maybe other parts in the business that you want to maybe venture and thrive in, maybe other than being an in-ring competitor?
I'd say if I would do anything else in wrestling, it would either be helping book or being a manager. And only because like manager is the next thing down in my head from being the wrestler itself, and I'll always want to be a wrestler first. Um but I actually got to manage last night in the main event, and it was kind of like a little awkward for me because I'm like me and the girl that I was with, we had no business being together, but she was facing the girl I faced earlier in the night, and that's my brother. Um but and then was actually a girl that I trained with was like with her, and they were like, "Okay, so Ava, we're going to have you come out with the other girl." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Like whatever. So we do our whole thing, and there were just times where like you could tell I didn't know what to do, and I just like zoned out for a second. I'm just like I don't know, like they're doing their whole thing. The fans are like cheering, but it's so like split, and I kind of just like froze for a second, and I'm like, what do I do? So I definitely need to work on that, because for some reason when I'm in the ring, I can talk so much shit to the crowd. Like I can do the damn thing, but whenever I'm just like standing out there, I'm like, what do I do? I don't this is weird. Um
Chemistry is
so
a little off.
so yeah, so like but as for a long-term goal is honestly to be able to deliver I feel like to be able to give the best quality matches that I can to make the fans feel something whenever I'm in the ring. Like I want to be the match that they remember whenever they leave at the end of the night. I want to be the match that they talk about in the car with their family, and they're like, "Oh, like that Ava Brooks girl, whatever." Or even just talk about the match in general. And I feel like even though it doesn't seem like a long-term goal, being as new as I am, there's still so much to work on. There's so much character work to improve on. There's so much in-ring work to improve on, and just the little things like that, even stuff with entrances. Like there was one time I completely panicked. I was sick and I didn't know how I was going to get through this tag match, and I gave the shortest entrance of my life. I was a face. I did not match my tag team partner's thing at all, and it just looked bad. But like that's one of those things where like if I'm going like even though I was like, oh yeah, but I'm out here sick wrestling for these people, like I need to be able to give them 100% of my energy, even if I only have 50% left in the tank because I'm sick. I need to give them that full 50%, and that's the long-term goal that I'm working on.
There you go. No, that's definitely a good goal to have, uh and it kind of, and once you get to that point where people are talking about, like even like you know for me, it's like when someone buys your merchandise because they thought you were the greatest out of everybody, which has happened lately, which is kind of cool, even in my state of my career. Or like even doing something like maybe like a movie that people just want, like, oh, they like talk about that, like like my missed uh um my missed tackle in the corner, they moved and I go between the second and top rope, and I post, and then I don't hit anything except the floor outside with no padding, so it's like and people thought I was dead, and so
Yeah,
it
I like
so
that.
sometimes it's and it's something that happens. You don't try to do something like that, and it ends up being something that ends up looking worse, but yeah, it is. And but yeah, hey, Marcus Waters in
Marcus.
here, jamming in. So yeah, there we go. Marcus Waters, he was down at AIWF. He was, I guess, last week here
Oh,
too.
dude, what a
And
great guest. What a
oh
great
yeah,
guest.
the King of Delaware, the the king of Delaware, Marcus Waters. All right, we're
that was you should go back and watch our last week's show. It was like stellar guy. But didn't he have beef with her too? Because like he took the belt off his friend.
Clara was his friend.
I can't remember how that was. Marcus, remind me.
Oh well, you know.
If that was the case, too bad. Cry about it.
That's too bad.
Listen, I'm a heel down there too, so like it's weird whenever I defend this as a face because I won it as a heel. So I'm like,
I'm sold on Mean Girl Ava Brooks. So don't.
Well, everybody looks at me and they're like, you give off babyface, and I'm like, what about my RBF gives off babyface to you? Like, do you know how many guys have come up to me and they're like, I was so afraid to talk to you because you just look genuinely pissed off, and I was like, I wasn't, but you saying that made me. So now get the fuck away from me. Like I wasn't pissed until you said that, and now I'm like,
oh, we're flirting with 20 now. By the way,
that's about as bad as calling the chubby girl pregnant when she's not. It's like that's bad.
I'm like, well, I wasn't mad, and now I am. So.
Oh shoot! Damn.
Gag, bro.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Put that up there, bro. Yeah, put that there. He said no beef. I said I wanted to see her.
Oh, that's what it was. She wanted to see. My bad, Marcus. My bad, sir. I am not worthy. Remember, I'm not worthy.
Listen,
he wants to see her go against somebody.
Match happen. Okay, anybody can get it.
So I'm down with this match for Marcus, but I'm telling you, Lilith has it. Lilith has it.
Rated E for everybody. Anybody can get it.
Well, there you go. Look at you. Now here's what also I want to confirm this because this is Bobby D. So I was looking back in the comments here. So it looks like apparently Bobby D took the title off of Big Nasty later that night.
Did he?
So I don't know. I got to confirm that too. But I will say that Glenn did put that picture up pretty quick after he won it. It was like when I saw it, it was like 13 minutes old. I mean, so that could have been like gold news, like 2 hours later.
I still win $30.
I don't know. Shoot. But before we get out of here, we like to have like a little fun here with our guests, and obviously you can tell we like to crack jokes. We like to kind of let loose a little bit, and sometimes it's at the expense of others. Not necessarily Botchamania, but we got our own little thing because we like to do things in a form of art pictures ourselves. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for that time of the week for Wrestling's Gold Memes. Let's try that one more time. Play that beautiful bean footage. Yeah.
Yes, Bobby did take the belt off of Glenn.
Wow. Oh, what a jerk. Oh, man.
What a jerk.
He cheated.
The real star needs it.
So I'm trying to find out here why I don't have shit. I was trying to understand. Okay, good.
Well,
okay.
Congratulations,
all right.
Bobby D. Congratulations.
Okay, so I'm trying to find out here exactly. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay,
don't watch the beginning of the show.
Yeah. So once again, we're here with having a little fun with Wrestling's Gold Memes. We're trying to have some fun. So just a reminder to everybody else here who don't like it, don't be a drag. Okay?
Santino Marella never gets old in any form or fashion.
That is adorable Adrian Adonis and Santina Marella.
Santino's sister.
Yeah, Santino's sister.
Oh my god, I just saw whenever there was a promo between him and his daughter when he said he was like, I just miss my sister. I was like, bro. Because he was like, we look so much alike. And I was like,
when he does that voice, man. I'm Santina. Santino's sister. I love
That is
Santino Marella.
funny. That is funny. Well, let's go to our first meme. So we're always so big at generational wrestlers, wrestlers with their sons. We got Cody and Dustin with Dusty, and of course, The Rock and the Soul Man, Rocky Johnson, of course, with Roman, and then of course with Cowboy Bob Orton and Randy Orton. Great examples, right?
Okay.
Well,
where's this going?
Rey Mysterio the first time.
What a deadbeat. What a deadbeat. Dude, I didn't have a clue where this is going. I'm like, what does this do?
Shaving him on a national stage,
Oh.
Goodness gracious. And then let's see. For our next one here, this to me personally, because I had a boombox back in this day, but 13-year-old me walking into my living room to every wrestler's theme after buying WWF The Music Volume 4.
Dude, I used to walk to school listening to Raven's entrance music on like loop. Because that had one of the hardest beats ever for an entrance music. It was great. Him and Taz.
The track off of this one for my favorite, D'Lo Brown.
Oh, yes.
It's a real deal now.
It's a real deal now.
Doing the neck shake and pointing out, yeah.
Go back and watch a D'Lo Brown.
Yeah.
Bookmark that one.
People looking at me like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, well.
Like, what's wrong with you? Get on my face.
I am not the problem. Oh, let's see. So, let's see. What's our next one here? Oh, yeah. We're talking about Facebook and we're having trouble. Sometimes you get in bed. This is how you react after getting your first.
No, that was literally me. Whenever I was messaging these podcasts, I had formulated just like an introduction message for me to send everybody. So I was copying and pasting, and then I got my account locked, and I was like, what am I gonna do? I have all these messages out, and I'm not gonna be able to respond to anybody for like the next 48 hours. So then I think Facebook heard me complaining through my phone, and then it was like 30 minutes, and they gave me my account back, and I was like, thank God.
Stop your spamish activity, ma'am. But hey, keep doing it, because eventually you may be like this, when getting your most recent 30-day ban on Facebook.
Been there. I've been at 90 days. Where it says if you mess up again, you're
banned for life. We're gonna delete it off your phone for you.
Oh my. Well, like I said, mine last year was someone actually got into my account and closed it down, and last year was a mess, and I just actually had trying to reconnect my account too. It was kind of a bad
COVID was bad. I was getting banned left and right during COVID.
They were really cracking down.
Left and right.
You could be like, oh, I had a rough day today. Hate speech. Get off. I'm like,
I got banned for saying effing white people.
Yeah. So when you get banned by somebody,
wait a minute.
That's how I got my 90-day ban, by the way. Was saying effing white people.
Yeah. Nothing really demoralizes you when you get banned from somebody who dresses like the Fruit Stripe pony. So, I don't.
Over a video of a white guy sitting in a chair trying to eat a pizza that's flying around on a ceiling fan. If that's not white people stuff, I have no idea what is.
We be doing the
we be doing the dumbest.
I'm like, guys, this is why we don't get invited to the cookout.
Hey, see, we got that. It's that time of the week again on here. We brought it back. The same energy photo.
Okay. These make me
For
nervous always.
This past Friday night with Seth Rollins.
Okay.
See if you can see the same energy from this guy.
Oh my
All
god.
because of this ponytail. Yeah, what is up with Seth dressing all nice here lately? I want goofball Seth. Like,
Yeah, bring the big red boots back.
yeah, like, that's why I like Seth Rollins. What happened to? What happened to
Come on,
freaking
give
Seth
me a
Rollins?
tweet
I would
outfit.
beg
I
to
don't
differ
care.
on that. I would beg to differ on this because these look like freaking drapes from like one of those dark like Nights Inn like hotel rooms that he's made his suit out of.
I'm too much of a vampire werewolf fanboy that is totally what a vampire would wear.
For sure.
Or upholstery from like a Renaissance couch. I mean, come on, bro.
No,
I mean,
dude, that's vampire werewolf stuff right there. That like the nice suit. Then get with it, man. Seth looking pimp.
oh shoot! And
But
our
no.
last one here of our gold memes is when the face John Cena taught fans to keep hustling, show loyalty, and treat others with respect. But there's one rebuttal here. Go-
See, this is where I have like a difference of opinion. Everybody is so mad at John Cena, and I'm like, I've been rooting for John Cena during the Rumble. I said, I don't care, heel, face. For some reason, my love for John Cena has grown, and it started whenever I beat my brother, and I forget what type of match we were doing on 2K, but me and my parents got him his own like belt for his company that like he uses for his figures, and he was like, if you beat me in this, then you can have my belt. So the first thing we did was a Rumble, and I had Andre the Giant, and he won the Rumble. And he was like, nope, that one didn't count. So then I beat him using John Cena, and he was like, nope, doesn't count. And I was like, bro, you're just mad that my John Cena beat your John Cena. Get out of here.
My John Cena beat your John Cena.
Because he had one too. I had the green one, he had the red one, I think. It was like, get out of here.
I know one thing about this whole like turn, not turn, whatever he did. I'm so happy they just didn't make him change his like he's just John Cena. He's still just John Cena, rocking the John Cena stuff. But I am one of those people that will die on the hill that is Cena sucks. So that is I do have an appreciation for him though.
Oh.
I really do. But Cena sucks. My only t-shirt is the John Cena sucks shirt. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm an Orton kid through and through. Edge wasn't lying. Orton wasn't lying. Punk wasn't lying. Cena's been the bad guy the whole time.
I just got a notification that my computer's at 6%.
Okay.
All right. So, but that's this week in gold memes, everybody. So glad got a little chuckle out of that here. And so going back once again, guys, with Ava Brooks joining us here tonight, you can follow her social media once again on Instagram at official Ava Brooks, TikTok official underscore Ava Brooks, Facebook at Ava Brooks, and of course at X underscore Ava Brooks underscore. So it almost sounds like I'm talking in Morse code or something when I'm trying to read all these tags. I swear. But no, yeah, but what big shows you got coming up for you?
So I am at RWA on the 5th. These are the shows that are like verified booking, have a match. And then I have a really big weekend. The weekend after Mania, I have a show the 25th at Oldie Wrestling. And then I'm at RSW in West Virginia Saturday to face Lexington for her RSW title. And then that Sunday, I am in a tag match, I believe. I don't know if that's announced yet. But I'm going to be in a match at NCW that Sunday. So I'll have a show Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But yeah. And then my home promotion, I'm always even if I'm not on the show, I'm always there. I mean, I'm on the poster, but that's April 12th in Uniontown. So I'm always there, even if I'm not doing anything. I'll be out for intermission, taking pictures with the belt. No, not the belt there. Not the belt there. Because it's the same colors. So I don't want people to think I'm their champion because we don't have one yet. But
Good call.
I'll still be out there for pictures if I'm not doing anything else.
Well, good deal. Good deal. Well, I mean, like I said, we've it's definitely been our pleasure to have you on here tonight in some great conversation, great banter, and also just knowing more about you is, I'm definitely a fan. I mean, just the way that you've you know your mindset and everything else going forward here in the business is, to me, it's a great path. I mean, you definitely made a big fan out of Miz here, and you
I
know, I
appreciate
mean,
it.
the
I'm pretty pumped. I'm pretty. My oldest son, I go around and my wife watches and stuff too. So she's upstairs watching. But I turned it on the bedroom, and Chase is talking to my wife and goes, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "It's Ava Brooks." And I just put down. So I just subscribed to RWA, on YouTube. And I'm like, we can watch some of our matches. Like, I kind of dig her, man. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this one. And that was before we even sat down and had the conversation. I was already like pumped. And then your mindset, and it's so nice because once again, I'm new to the business too. 2019 I started, and I'm fresh and learning and stuff. But I still have that mindset, like you do already, to keep going, find more information, find more stuff, get more reps. And if it wasn't for the podcast, I would not have gotten as good as I wanted to with the voice, because I like commentary. That's what I want to do. I want to give the sugar on top for the viewers at home. And when you have people that have the mindset the character comes first, then in-ring ability. In-ring ability is a must. Basics. Find a good school, get your basics, and get all that stuff, and then have the mindset to build the character, and then let the character develop what happens in the ring. It makes such an easier aspect when you're watching a match and then putting the commentary to it for that reason. So I appreciate having someone like you with the mindset that you do for what I do. So
thank you.
Like I said, I know it's getting late over there on the East Coast, and we appreciate you and taking your
I
time
gotta go
out.
in 6 hours for school.
Oh yeah. But we thank you very much for coming on tonight, and like you said, spread the word, and like I said, don't be a stranger. And anything big coming up, just let us know. Maybe we'll get a chance to plug you again, whatever you got going on, and maybe kind of revisit maybe some down the line. Maybe kind of bring it back on and see how things are going.
For sure.
All right, man. Well, thanks again, and like I say, you have a great night, and we'll talk to you down the road.
You too. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
All right, man. So hey, oh yeah, there's a show you passed over. No, you didn't pass over. Sorry.
Don't do that. I did not pass over it. IEW, April 12th, Granite City. We come back. Man, it's gonna be a crazy show.
Yep. And just don't pass over this.
Oh hell no! You can't pass over this. This greatness.
I'm kind of looking forward to see what Teddy chooses as his question of the night for this coming Thursday.
I got to be on the ball. I got to be on the ball this Thursday.
Shoot. Like I said, we had some great banter. We took a lot of time here, and I'm glad how we just expand out. I mean, as far as our conversation with our guest here lately, which is, almost taking up all of our time, but, we want to kind of, we might have to do some rapid fire here as far as what's going on here. Starting off with Raw, and because we're going to mainly focus on Raw, NXT, TNA, SmackDown. Maybe just a few things here. Obviously, we got the results going on here, and so let's kind of rehash this here. So good. I mean, like I said, great promo once again between here in Glasgow between Cody and John. John comes out again, then Cody comes out. So John basically saying that he's the real champion and a real true champion. and he's going to take it away and not give it to the fans. So basically, Cody says he's doing it for them now.
So the one thing that like take away from this and what I'm hearing on the internet is from fans that there's too much repetitiveness already. Like Cena just basically gave us the same promo he did the week before.
Yeah.
I would say yes to a point, but we got to look at small details. Okay, small details. The first night he came back, what do you have? A dark red shirt, a dark maroon shirt. The man is wearing black now. No longer Fruity Pebble in it. As of right now.
He's not wearing bright colors, is he?
If he changes again, I might be onto something about this slow alteration of him into like business Cena that I was mentioning last week. So that's the one takeaway. I do agree. My Raw was great through and through. I love the promo. I love the bit with Cody. I love how Cody just mic dropped and left, because that's tying into. That's not only tying into promos, that's tying into the fact that they're using the media stuff. You know, when they did the one media thing and he just came in and dropped the mic and walked off. So I love the kind of subtle hint stuff. But I really want to see if we're right about this slow evolution of Cena changing his look slowly instead of like just boom, now I'm this bad guy. I'm going to wear a different outfit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my only takeaway. Let's watch the slow burn, but I do agree. I wasn't too hip on the repetitiveness of what it felt like.
I mean, but I do like how he's changed his entrance. He doesn't run out no more, and he just basically looks at this towel and he lays the towel on the canvas. He doesn't throw it out. He doesn't throw his head out no more.
It's that subtle stuff. It is the character development. We're watching Cena's character change before our eyes. Something that we have not seen 20 years, right? Like when did he come as the prototype and then turn into Dr. Thugonomics and then into this version of Cena? Like he has had 3 transformations really when it comes to professional wrestling. I mean, we could
prototype.
Yeah,
he was originally prototype.
Prototype, Dr. Thugonomics, John Cena.
Pretty much it.
You know, he hasn't changed ever. So to see this slow morph, I'm all for it. I want to see this slow, like, I want him to lose the shorts. I want him to lose the shirt somehow and like morph into this different version of Cena. I don't know if I think tights isn't Cena's thing. So that might be weird still.
He may have to wear like long tights. I don't see him back in prototype shorts again with this figure. I don't see it. But we are having another face-to-face tomorrow. Once again, 2:00 Central, 3 Eastern, because they're at London again, and Netflix is going to go live.
How do you feel about that?
It sucks. But it's not like you can't just, I mean, it sucks that you can't watch it live in the moment, but it's not like you just can't. If you got a Netflix subscription, you just go right up and play it right after it's on.
I was a little late to it and watched it because I forgot about it. But
I did.
I'm not as mad about it, I guess.
I mean, like, it's not affecting me none, bro. I mean,
because I would have just watched it at the same time as it usually. Oh, 7:00 now.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, I forgot.
Watch Raw.
It's not live.
But no, I love the overseas stuff. So I'm pretty stoked with how they're doing things. It's a cool aspect, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, like I said, let's see what different flavor they bring tomorrow with this. It's got to change up. Something's got to change up.
That's all I wanted to point out.
Got to come in.
Right. That's all I wanted to point out. That he changed the colors and quick. Right. It wasn't, usually he wears the same color for 4 months ish, 2 months, a month, being his last thing, but they changed it real quick. So like, are we getting a slow alteration or is it just going to be this John Cena? If it's this John Cena, dude, I'm gonna fall off quick. But and Cody better keep that down.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I want to see a new version of Cena. I want to see what if, like, I don't know. What if Bray was right and Cena, turned heel a long time ago and we didn't realize that he was already part of the NWO? Like, come on. There's so much space we can play with this.
So we'll see what happens tomorrow after their meeting. And another thing here is Bailey coming out to save Lyra Valkyria after the IC
Dumb.
titled defense that she beat Raquel. And
That part's dumb.
yeah, I don't know. So do you see yourself do you see Bailey in the picture for maybe for the women's and because we're less than 3 weeks away from WrestleMania. Bailey's got no direction right now. Do you try to squeeze her in? I mean, do we see the women's IC title on the line at one of the nights of WrestleMania?
I would hope
And
so.
I
I,
mean,
I really would hope so. And if we do it in a fun way where like Raquel and Liv versus Lyra and Bailey for it would be a fatal 4-way would be fun.
it would
So
be fun.
I'm
It-
down for something like that, but I at this point, why is Bailey just being the workhorse for WWE? Can we
right?
get more Bailey in the main scene, please? Or
Yeah, I know.
around the belt? I mean, if she takes the IC belt, I'm all for it because then that would make her truly the first. Like, did they restructure the Grand Slam?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. But
Because with that would make her truly the first to hold the women's heavyweight title and now the IC title. So
yeah,
is
I mean, she's been tag champion. She's been NXT champion. So I mean,
do the women have a Grand Slam yet? Yeah, they do because it was the Raw,
yeah, Raw and SmackDown and all that.
and then
yeah,
NXT, and
I
then the
think
tag,
so.
right?
Yeah, I think so. But I'm just saying that if Bailey doesn't get to WrestleMania, it's going to be sad considering that she was a big,
Go ahead.
you know, I mean, she was a big attraction last year, winning the WWE Championship from EO, and then
Right.
now finding her way just to find a spot on this year's card. It's just, I mean, I understand the roster's big, but Bailey to me was getting over. So
100%.
I don't know.
I still
why,
wish
but
Raquel would have won that belt though.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to see what happens tomorrow afternoon with this. Next one here. Let's take a look at this. El Grande Americano. No. And the debut has mixed reaction. So as far as the way, and I don't know why are people so pissed about the way that this is being done. And I think there's going to be there's somebody else besides Chad Gable that's got a similar build to him, and it's not going to be Chad Gable all the time on this.
I
I'm
don't
calling it
think
now.
so either. I think they're working for something here. I'm fine with it. I'm truly okay with it. I'm not against it because we're getting to see highlighted lucha libre, and for the people that are mad about this whole stunt that WWE's doing, you're just mad because it's the WWE name. That's it. Because nobody said anything about AAA when they did it with Mark Jindrak down there, where he was the outsider gringo coming in and
Right.
fighting the Mexican luchadors down there and AAA and CMLL and all those places that have great luchador heritage. We are finally, for the first time, I think, truly getting luchador heritage on a national TV stage. WCW started it. I'm going to say that right now, in my opinion. WCW and maybe even ECW. A lot of respect goes to those two promotions when it comes to highlighting the difference of lucha libre versus regular North American professional wrestling. Just like Japan has their style, UK has their style. There's a different element to lucha libre. We got a good taste of it when Lucha Underground was around
Yeah.
in the States, and that stuff was phenomenal. But to see that kind of value come to WWE, where it was such a supposable, oh, they don't like this person, or they don't like this person because they're this, whatever it may be. That's the sugar on top, because luchador wrestling, especially in WCW and ECW, I remember, Super Crazy and all those guys and God dang, I can't remember the one guy's name now, but I can remember the mask. But doing crazy, Super Crazy's flipping off of balconies and crap. There was nobody doing that at the time, right? Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero in WCW is a standout luchador match. But to get to see it in WWE at this level again, I'm thankful. I really am. I truly am, because I've always enjoyed masked wrestlers and the story and the concept behind the mask. So to see them play homage, maybe, who knows? Because we don't know what the storyline is. Why are you guys planning something or figuring something out when we don't even know where it's going whatsoever? Like, they're just planting the seeds. And this is one of my favorite stories. And to see LWO finally have a real storyline to sink their teeth into, why are you guys mad?
Yeah, I know. Just sit back and just see where everything falls, man. That's all you got to do.
And if it
I'm
ends
looking
up
forward to it.
if it ends up with Dominic Mysterio somehow taking the mask of Rey Mysterio off in a mask versus hair match, makes it even better for me. Because Chad got the information from Dominic. So eventually Dominic's getting pulled back into the storyline. And that's what people don't understand. There's so many pieces to the puzzle. Dominic's trying to build his own luchador roster. Come on, guys. He wants Penta in the group, so he's already fishing for his own luchador stable, his own Mexican stable.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it in real time. So I don't understand why people are mad about it, because Chad could easily go back to Dominic in some form or fashion. Bringing all three factions together in a feud would be great. I mean, there's so many cool things they could do with this.
Absolutely. Last thing we'll touch on here is, and look at this headline. Listen to Finn, no one wins, because him and Dominic interfere in Braun Breaker and Penta's match for the IC title. Finn just waffling freaking Braun in the back with that chair, and also eventually getting Penta as well. So there's just so many directions, and there's so many rumors of what we're doing here as far, and hopefully we get an announcement tomorrow about what's the state of, on how the Intercontinental Championship is going to be defended.
Oh yeah, dude! The IC title is in both of them, both the men and women. We see them in turmoil, so something's gonna have to go. There was a rumor. So one rumor is they were talking about the ladder match, right? The 6-man ladder match. I honestly would, once again, Penta, Dominic, Finn, Braun, and a fatal 4-way.
Yeah.
That kind of has money written on it, in my opinion.
Yeah, no. I would say, if there's any way, like I said, I don't know if there's going to be 6 people competing for that title, but I don't know. I'd like to see if they're going to do if they're only going to do 4 people, they need to put a fatal 4-way elimination match.
Ooh, good call.
So, so not just one pinfall is going to decide the champion.
I like that.
We haven't had that for a while. We haven't had that in a long time at a WrestleMania. We need to have that again. So that's what I'm calling for. All right. So that was done with Raw here. One thing I really wanted to point out here in NXT, and this is probably my favorite top right now, is that the double women's champ prevails as Stephanie Vaquer makes history, successfully defending her title against her Jada Parker. It was a clean roll up and distraction from Jordan Grace.
Yeah, yep. Jordan Grace went down a peg or two for me, ruining Miss Parker. What a.
I was pulling for Stephanie at this one. I'm sorry.
No, all day, Miss Parker. I'm sorry. I mean, Stephanie is. No, I'm sticking with my guns. I am a Miss Parker fan all through and through. She's on my 2K faction team.
Like I said, just something about Stephanie Vaquer.
I'm dropping hypnotics everywhere.
And then, of course, later on that night, defending against Fallon Henley with the Women's North American Championship. So, and then, of course, Jordan Grace actually made the save after Fatal Influence bum rushed her after the match. But
I do like this. I do like the storyline built around Stephanie right now. It seems like they're going to potentially push to her getting overwhelmed as her character. You know what I'm saying? As her character goes
as a champion,
and I really dig that aspect, because if there's a woman that gets to get that over to the audience, Stephanie's the one, in my opinion. Like, she's gonna kill this role. But yeah, great matches. She worked well with both women. So,
and like I said, I'm just kind of wondering here for Stand and Deliver, because obviously we want to know that Julia is not out of the picture.
oh,
But
it's
Jordan
Julia.
so far wants, but Jordan so bad wants to be in.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Jordan and for the world title. I'm pretty sure, and Julia potentially.
This is not going to go another 30 days at most. Okay. So one of those titles are getting dropped off of her, but it's good here she's making history. And who was saying that? Oh, well, Mandy Rose had did Mandy Rose make a complaint?
Yeah, she posted on X that she's like, oh, first double champion, no, blah blah blah, and showing her with the UK title, but that was for a unification match.
Right,
She unified them to one title, so therefore the double champion doesn't make sense. And if there's one woman in NXT that would deserve the double champion role before Stephanie, that's 100% goes to Paige when she was NXT and Divas champion at the same time. So
yeah, so
hop off, Mandy.
Yeah, I know. Like, keep posing. You're making more money anyway. Shut your mouth. So when you unify a title, okay, you're not a double champion, because they did that back in the early 2000s when they unified the hardcore title with the Intercontinental Champion. Then they unified the European Championship with the Intercontinental Championship, and it's just, and then of course the IC title trumped over everything. But I mean, there are certain scenarios here. Like I had like a certain territorial title, but then like somebody had their Canadian championship, and I won that, and I had like both belts. But then there's sometimes I've had both on the line, and then sometimes I would only defend one of those titles. Back in a promotion I had about 20 years ago or something like that. So, I mean, it just all depends how you play it out. But if you unify a title, okay, you're not a double champion. And they were phasing out NXT UK anyway. So that's why they did that. It sucks that NXT UK is not around. But I mean, you get what you take what you can get. And but right now, like I said, the North American Championship, it's a brand new championship for the women's division, and Stephanie Becker is holding her own. So right now, my number one. Number two, Zarya. Number three, Jada. Right. And then number four, Jordan. So
I think Jordan's number 4 now for me too. Jada went back.
So you should have interfered.
Shouldn't have interfered. Disrespectful.
All right. So, and of course, there's other things that happened here, but like I said, there's so many stories, so many good storylines where you try to highlight whatever. We'll move to TNA. Okay. So Chavo returns in El Paso in a 6-man and gets the win over Casey Navarro, and finishing maneuver, the frog splash. And before that, finally hitting the 3 Amigos on AJ. And
AJ Francis.
Yeah.
Money.
So they're in El Paso, Texas, Eddie's hometown, paying homage to him. And,
I actually hope Chavo stays around.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
He looked decent. He looked really good in the ring.
Yeah, I really kind of hope Chavo stays around. He's very underrated, underappreciated in the business, in my opinion. If you don't like Chavo Guerrero, please go back and look at him with Pepe. That stuff was...
Oh, yeah, in WCW?
Oh, my God, yeah, when he was loony and shaved his head and stuff.
And even back, even 20 years back, remember when his dad had the Cruiserweight title when he was Chavo Classic?
Yes, in WWE.
Yeah.
Dude, that stuff was great. He was like trying to get his dad to stop wrestling and stuff. That was hilarious.
And if you want to see something really hilarious, go look up the name Kerwin White. You will totally.
Hey, no, man. I don't think people understand how cool Kerwin White could actually have been.
Dude, I'm about bald every time I freaking.
That's actually where we met Nick Nemeth first.
Yes, because he was his caddy.
Was his caddy. So no,
That's
I was
right.
happy to see Chavo back. Chavo's one of my favorites. Somebody that I truly think's underrated. Even his WWE Cruiserweight run was killer and
Yeah.
stuff. Also, the stuff that he did with Edge and Vicky in the La Familia. Chavo's
Yeah.
underrated, bro. So yeah, keep Chavo with what is it? The Mayan.
Oh my God! It was the
I can't remember the guy's
Aztec
name.
Warriors. I
Aztec
think.
Warriors, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Penta Jr., right? Penta Jr. and
And Octagon. No, Laredo Kid.
Laredo Kid and Octagon Jr.
And Octagon Jr. Yeah, that's what. And then, in fact, yeah. So Chavo did have a reunion with Nick, and Chavo said, "Hey, would you mind getting your bags for me and getting those bags for me, please?" So, I mean, just like old times. Okay.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie, that'd be kind of a funny spot for TNA.
It would. It would.
He say it to Ryan or something.
Yeah, why not? He's still got dues to pay. So, so Tessa's at it again, attacking just out of nowhere. And of course, Masha being the victim here. So, they have Rebellion coming up. So I'm sure Tessa's going to be in the hunt for that championship. And this is after Masha defeated JCJ. And I don't know. I mean, at least I can say the chanting has gone down, at least for now. Thank God. Well, I honestly was tired of that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If there's anybody that just personifies the B word just with her actions, like, God, I just can't stand looking at this.
Oh,
chick.
yeah.
But Tessa's the number one right now.
Yeah.
And that's pretty bad considering that Mercedes was number one for like the longest time. But Mercedes is a very close number two, I will say.
No,
She's not out of the running.
Who do I want to get punched more, Tessa or
Mercedes?
Wow.
What a great question. Who do I want to throw a pie in the face more?
I actually kind of think I agree with you that it is Tessa.
Right?
Like the more I think about it, I'm like, you are right. Because she just reeks Mean Girl. And like,
yeah,
I've kind of got soft on Masha too. Masha's kind of won me over.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Masha for sure. Yeah, every time I look at Tessa, she's all posing, especially comes out in her little entrance, and I'm like, bitch.
Yeah, from her her promos to her in ring, yeah, she just reeks it. I'm cool with it. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah, and then the final one here looks like the brother teams are going to collide at Rebellion.
My brother and I.
Yeah. I just like how they're pointing at each other. They're both saying, "My brother."
They are. Can their tag team name just be My Brother?
Oh yeah,
My brother, the Nemeth brothers. I'm pumped for this, dude. You don't know how happy I am to see these two working together and like Nick. My bad. I'm sorry, but
we're still going there.
It's still hard to break that Nick has been an under gem for so long with how he talks, how he his mannerisms in the ring and stuff, and the guy just a phenomenal in-ring competitor.
Yeah,
Ryan has something. I'm telling you guys, he's annoying. He gets on your nerves, but I think that's what's going to make this whole tag team work for these two is like Nick being the showman and then Ryan being this guy that you want to see get punched. Like think about if Dolph hits somebody doing like Jeff jumps into the ring, right? Hits the sweet chin music. Nick does. And then he's like, "That's my brother." It adds to the showman thing of who Nick is and being the wanted man and stuff. So I'm all for this duo, and I really, really hope they destroy the Hardys. So I'm pumped for this one.
I was gonna say, if we're gonna push Nick Nemeth more as a heel along with this, We need to find a way for them to get over on the Hardys.
Oh, it needs to
Um,
happen.
And there's been some rumors about the Hardys and the Dudleys, how Matt Hardy wants him and the Dudleys one last time. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be for title's not going to be at stake. That's for sure.
You know,
But
yeah, Dudley's Hardys don't need titles one more time. Just let them go out there.
no,
And,
just let it happen. So, but I think eventually we're going to be looking at new TNA World Tag Team Champions with the guys pointing at each other here. So,
my brother. I love it. I'm sorry.
let's move on to a few other quick things here for SmackDown. So the Samoan Werewolf on the prowl as Jacob Fatu is on the hunt for the U.S. title, and he says you better get in with your fit in because I'm either going to do it with you or without you. Talking to Solo, and Solo didn't like his tone, bro. I mean,
I'm loving this, Jacob. I'm loving it because it opens the door for another divide in the family.
right?
Another layer, because there's still a couple pieces of the puzzle that haven't been shown yet, and I truly believe we're about to get a debut potentially. This is just
Zilla?
this is yes. So there's been things where he had to like cancel bookings and stuff. I know he was injured there for a little bit, but like I think he healed from that, right?
Yeah.
And then he had to cancel some other bookings just recently for something. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to look into it, but I'm hoping that Zilla comes in to back Jacob, and then we have Solo and Tonga Loa, or not Tonga Loa. God dang it, Timatonga versus the other two. Yeah, I tongue tied, bro.
Yeah, it's
Their
all right.
names.
Yeah.
But I like it because he didn't really put off anything. You know, it was directed just to Solo in some sense, but Tonga didn't really. He didn't do much. So I'm curious
No.
to see where his loyalty actually is. I have a feeling it's with Solo more, but we're seeing this riff break hard, and I'm pumped for this.
Hypothetical.
Mhm.
If Jacob is the only one that breaks away and he goes on his own, even if you gather the Solo, I mean, is there really any worth to the bloodline if Solo still has Tonga Loa, Tonga, and even if Zilla Fatu joins with Solo, then we probably are having still a strong bloodline. But if Zilla does not join,
Hikulea's not even here yet, and he's on the roster.
yeah,
Not I don't know where he is on the roster, but he's signed to WWE.
yeah. But right now, I mean, the bloodline's taking a major backseat to everything since.
Oh, it doesn't need to be a predominant.
I mean,
thing.
since the beginning of the year, since the whole battle for Ulafala happened on the debut of Netflix, totally fizzled out, which it needed to. But I was kind of wondering how strong they're going to keep the bloodline. But right now, I guess they don't want them that strong, or they don't want to put more into the limelight because of like Cena's farewell tour, and they I guess are running other storylines to kind of center around. And
I feel this is going to start back up soon. Just there's more to it because The Rock asking for Cody's soul has a lot to play with this too.
yeah,
What if Jacob doesn't have any loyalties to The Rock? What if Solo still is his loyalty to The Rock, and we don't know if that's the case? Like, there's still so many pieces to all that puzzle with both the OG bloodline, this bloodline. What's Rock doing? So there's so many pieces, and if it branches out a little bit, and then when it comes back together, the explosion is going to be cooler because now we're letting it cool down, and it's going to recycle over because there's other storylines that need to be told, right? Other stories need to happen.
Yep.
But they're still keeping it in our face with the little tidbit pieces to the crumbs. So I'm still fully invested in the Samoan bloodline heritage warfare.
I mean, if Jacob can get a straight up shot at the U.S. title or legit shot with nobody interfering, then
Bro, he's taking that belt. Like, put that belt on Jacob. Watch Jacob just run and mud hole people. Like,
You
my
ne-
favorite.
he
my,
needs it
yeah,
for
my
real
my
to help with
favorite,
this.
my favorite Samoan is still Umaga. 100%.
Oh yeah,
When Umaga, like, I loved Rosie and Jamal. Don't get me wrong. I loved Rosie and Jamal. 3 Minute Warning was great. It
yeah, I
did
loved
not.
it. I love that.
It did not get what it deserved, in my opinion, because it fizzled out quick. But I think there was logistics in that. But Umaga, when he got repackaged as Umaga, and he came in and was just thrashing people. Like, I'm like, yes,
Oh,
let's
man,
go.
yeah.
I feel like with Zilla and Jacob, right now just Jacob, but if Zilla comes in, those two dudes just thrashing everything in WWE, because one, I still want to see it, Zilla versus Solo, for the simple fact that Solo's using the spike, and that's Zilla's dad's move. Like, because there's that element, like, there's so much room to do stuff with that anything Samoan, I'm eating. I'm eating, dude.
All right. And then so far next one here. So it looks like KO making another attack, costing Randy Orton a match against Drew McIntyre with the distraction, but KO tries attacking afterwards, but he escapes another punt after getting tripped up here on this table.
Yeah,
And
Raider Field's gonna have another field goal here soon.
yeah. Well, apparently it's been made official by if you follow WWE on socials for like X and also for Facebook, Randy's basically saying that it's him and Kevin Owens at night 1. So match is going to happen night 1, and are we going to see the punt?
We are 100%. There's a field goal about to happen in Vegas because Kevin Owens' head's going right through a field goal that post.
And the Raiders are not in town.
Yeah, so. The Raiders aren't even home. But Randy is going to show you that Pat McAfee is the second best punter in WWE. Dude, that line, when Randy said that line, I'm like, my dude.
That's great. That was great.
Hey.
Oh man. No, that's awesome. But no, I'm kind of looking forward to this. I mean, with it being a straight up, I guess it's going to be a straight up match. I don't know.
All we know is Randy's foot's going straight up side KO's head. That's it. That big old melon.
If anything else, they need to make this like a no disqualification.
I'd be cool with that. Like, it's kind of become KO's thing.
It's this match is going to get out of control. No, I mean, there's too much personally involved in it. You just can't have a regular match, and to where you could get disqualified. Something's going to have to. There has to be a stipulation here this match, but we don't know. But the only thing we do know is that they are going night 1. So,
put him in a cage.
Yeah. But can I just say I didn't put it in here, but what a great promo that him and Cody had at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Man, and then just basically Randy giving Cody all the flowers in the world for what he's done.
Did you like his play on words, how he kept bringing up Legacy?
Yeah, dude, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, dude, that was like one of my favorite shirts I got too, man.
Oh, I have mine still somewhere.
I wish there was like a retro, like WWE, like shop, like shirt, because it was like the tree and all that with the Legacy and dude, it was like one of my favorite shirts that I got from WWE shop. I loved Legacy, man, with him, Cody, and Ted DiBiase Jr.
Also, note this, okay? Because if we go back to storyline, Manu was part of Legacy, who is part of the Bloodline, and Randy kicked him out.
That's funny. Yeah, it's funny, but
just saying.
But also in that promo, like I said, he's on the hunt for the WWE Championship. He wants to see if he can capture 15 down the road, and then of course Drew McIntyre has to put his 2 cents in, and You know, but I will
Dude.
say this London crowd was loving just about loving just about anybody. Not everybody, but just about everybody.
Roman
So-
Reigns, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, no kidding.
Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes.
So this brings to our last point here tonight, and so the favor is still not fulfilled, even though that CM Punk has been announced that he's going to be closing the show as WrestleMania's main event with his match triple threat with Seth freaking Rollins and Roman Reigns. So, but at the end of which they had to go over a little bit extra time to finish this promo, by the way. But
That was actually sick.
that was, and you see Paul's face here because right before that, he basically said GD.
Yeah.
When he said this, that the favor's still not been fulfilled. But then everybody wants to know what exactly is the favor.
I'm pretty pumped with this whole thing.
I mean, we're less than 3 weeks away, and if that's the case, will the favor be fulfilled? There's a lot of speculation of Paul
Turning.
on Roman, but not going to Punk,
To Seth.
to Seth. I
I
can
don't
see that, but
I don't see it. I don't understand it. Like I don't
understand it either. We're so probably the crazy outfits. Were you still gonna get those?
I'm not opposed to it. So let me put that out there. I'm not opposed to Paul Heyman turning and going to Seth, because that would throw some wrenches in some plans, dude. But yeah, go
and
ahead.
could it be? I mean, something tells me that CM Punk is not going to go over in this main event.
Oh, 100% not. What if the favors to get a different ref?
That's all you wanted? No, just get a different ref.
Or the favor becomes that Paul has to count the 3. Bro.
I think the favor was, to me, I think the favor was that Paul not be in the corner of his only tribal chief, but be in the corner for him. And there's not stipulated in the contract. Maybe.
If that's
there's
the
so much
favor-
speculation. We just don't know.
Everybody wants the favor to be so big, and if it's something stupid like that, bro, I'm gonna be peeved.
And I took the assumption that he wanted to be world champion. He wanted a world championship match at WrestleMania. And obviously, he's not in the picture for any of that.
Yeah,
We already know who the big main targets are, and it's one-on-one matches. Those are not going to change less than 3 weeks to go. It's not going to change. So what exactly is this favor? Is it going to be fulfilled by WrestleMania? Or if it's not, when is it going to be fulfilled? I mean, this is like, Punk just likes to drive everybody crazy and just cause chaos. It's just like, make up
it
your
was so
mind
much
already.
easier when we were fighting over a bracelet.
No kidding, right? I mean, God, can you imagine him and AJ try to decide what's for dinner at the house? And they never decide?
What is the favor? What is the favor?
You know, I mean, Lord, I don't know.
But
It's
no,
not-
100%. This promo was killer. I liked that it went over air, and like we thought it was going off, but then it didn't, and then it did. So, I'm all for this. These 3.
Yeah, watch it. Static. Yeah, the favor's gonna be something so simple.
Hornswoggle's the ref. That was a joke. Please don't do that. Oh my god.
Maybe there's a nice bakery on Fremont Street in Las Vegas. Maybe it's a whole
A dozen donuts.
I need a dozen muffins from this I don't know if it's World Donuts or what it is, but it connects to the Park Plaza Hotel down there. Let me tell you, they had some fantastic donuts down there, man.
That's funny.
Oh Too rich. I mean, too rich, but the best. God, I want to go to Vegas again this year. I mean, again, I so
I would love
wish
to
I
go this
could.
year. This year would be dope as hell.
Yeah, I mean,
Like a
it'd be
Nick
funny.
Foley getting the
Yeah.
roast. Come on.
Oh, but by the way, and so before I get into this, I mean, that's basically what we got here for you this week. And before we get off, and I should have done it while he was on here, but congratulations once again to Herb Simmons as he is getting another award from the Cauliflower Alley Club as the Independent Promoters Award this year. At the 59th annual. So another local guy here getting another national award for Herb Simmons. And of course, he's done a lot for CAC as well. Back in 2020, he got the Red Bastine Award. So, you know, so so this is the second award from Cauliflower Alley Club that he's gotten. And I've got to check in to see if there's any other, they've come down to any other honorees yet for awards. It is coming down. So, but man, we got, like I said, we're still trying to figure out what our agenda is going to be. You know, I mean, obviously next week is going to be episode number 187. We have from Wrestling with Heart podcast. We're going to have Stanley Carr on. We're going to be talking because he has done a lot of big interview. He's done a lot of interviews with big names, but he mainly focuses on their charity work, whatever charity they're in. We're going to kind of talk things over, and he's also gotten his foot in. He put his toes in the pool in the wrestling business, that they would say, getting some ring announcing in. And of course, he is a DJ on a college campus in Nashville. So we're going to have him here next week. And of course, the following week is 188 with, we will have Evan Golden.
Yes.
So, and that's, you know, that was thanks to Mother Nature kind of knocking out my power for most of that weekend. And, but we will have that. And then also we'll be previewing a lot of, we're probably just going to be previewing a lot of what's coming up for Stand and Deliver. TNA's got Unbreakable that Thursday night, which is a TNA Plus exclusive event. Going over to WWE Hall of Fame. And then of course the night, the cars for, so we're kind of either make our predictions and maybe our picks for that. So we're going to have kind of a long show. And also after that, I don't know how we're going to break this down, bro, because there's going to be so much happening. I don't get it. I mean, I'm not sure how we're going to get
Night one, I'm at Terry's house, so
yeah, help him put his website back up, will you?
he actually sent me information on what's going on.
Okay, not a problem, and we could talk about that off the air. But we've been like way over here. Once again, we want to give our shout out and thanks to Ava Brooks, who is our featured guest of the night.
Stamps approved. Stamps approved.
And making sure go back and you can go back and check here. Let's see. I guess I could put this.
Yeah, throw up her socials again one more time.
I don't know if I can put it on this or not. I'll have to, but it's TikTok. Well, for Instagram is at official Ava Brooks. Facebook is at Ava Brooks. X is at _ Ava Brooks _ and TikTok is official _ Ava Brooks. So I mean, there's, you see, I'm talking in Morse code again. So I just it's a little much for me. But no, that's yeah, but go back if you missed any part of this episode, go back and watch this interview. If you missed the interview, trust me, you're gonna you'll be kicking yourself if you missed it. So
yeah, this was a fun interview.
Yeah. I mean, she's only 18 years old, but trust me, she has got a good
24 F-bombs. By the way, she beat the dirty heel Austin Cage by 7 F-bombs.
I'm going to say, Austin Cage, please, you will have a swear jar at the Fan Fest. So please watch yourself. Or else every time you goof up, it's going to be $5. And that's going to be, and we may have a 50-50 drawing for the fans. you may end up be buying the fans a couple of shirts with your mouth if you don't watch it. So, oh man, but no. Once again, thanks again to Ava Brooks. A big week of wrestling, of course. A big week coming up. This is a big week coming up for me because this is my last week in my 40s, bro. Friday is my last day in my 40s. So
big old 5-0.
Yep, that's coming up. That's coming up for me on Saturday. So I'm gonna try and spend some time with family. Especially with my mom and everything else, especially since my mom lost her dog of 16 years on Friday morning. So she's a little sad, and so she needs definitely time with her boys and just having some good family time and just give it a chance to laugh. And that's why we come here. It's because we want to give you a chance to guys to have some fun with wrestling. You know, we try to bring the best out of it, man. And we have a good time doing it.
We found it tonight. The future looks good. The future looks good.
Absolutely, it does. So, that being said, we're going to go ahead and jet on out of here. How about that? We're going to be jetting on out here. Guys, make sure you're following us here. Scan that QR code, and we'll be chatting at you next week. Thank you for everybody that's watched here tonight, and go back and watch whatever you missed. So,
we appreciate you guys.
Always appreciate you. So,
Always.
For myself, Ralph, Rick Ruby, and the Jumpsuit Mouse Miz, we thank you very much for showing up and showing out. And we will see you next week.
What?
Same time, same channel.
Bad station.
Don't ban me, Facebook. I'll come out and kick you in the twig and berries.
The
Tired of it.
The twig and berries.
I mean,
no wonder you're going to be 50.
Somebody with long hair may have twig and berries too.
Twig and berries.
Hashtag twig and berries. Punked.
Terrible.
Have a good night, guys.